Rough.
I don't know. It was sitting in the software, and it's always nice to have kind of a little intro picture. You know what I'm saying?
Do we know what it is? We don't even see it.
I don't even know. Let's go back here.
Random.
Oh shit! Oh, I didn't know we had that effect. That's a good one.
What was that? Oh, 3.
There it is. Isn't that a classic? One of those classic painting. Classic, as in like the Renaissance. You know.
When I was a kid, after like midnight, after Johnny Carson would go off, all the channels would go to that.
The color bars.
Yeah.
Yeah, they use it for. I got to figure out these cameras. There we go.
They didn't have programming after midnight.
They that one doesn't work. Yeah, they there we go. Yeah, they would use the color bars to color correct the screen for broadcast and movies and stuff, because there's like a protocol that the colors can't exceed like a certain threshold, I guess, in terms of intensity.
So what's
reds can't be
that up all night long?
The reds can't be red, the greens can't be too green, the reds can't be too red.
Can't be offensive to the eyes.
They can't be offensive to transgendered, neutral.
Oh, speaking of that, big news. We have a brand new piece of equipment. Gene has a new mic, I believe.
I need to move your crutch.
Yeah.
No, we'll just keep it there, because it's like a Salvador Dali painting.
Yeah. Well, notice there's only one crutch this time.
Yeah, good job on that.
So 2 days ago, I figured out I could walk without both of them.
Fucking progress.
Progress. I started physical therapy yesterday.
How does that feel?
They did some like shocking thing to it.
Oh yeah, those little electrodes.
Yeah, and then they put some sort of pack that flushed cold water through it.
I pulled. Had this nasty jiu-jitsu injury where I detached the ligament in my arm.
Ouch.
And it's the kind of, I guess they give baseball players an operation for it when they detach.
Oh, okay.
I have. It's been a while since I've had it, or since it happened. It's been years. And
an armbar overextension.
It was like this Kimura from Side Mount. One of the black belts. I was cocky. I felt like I was kicking some ass. I was kind of doing. I was just really good. I was like in a zone, and he caught me in that. And then I was like, I can escape, and I escaped the first one, but then the second one he didn't let me escape, and it popped. And anyway, yeah, it took like 12 weeks, but I had one of those chilled water circulating things that you're talking about. Yeah, so luckily I was friends with like my friend Sorab's an orthopedic surgeon, so he dialed up the numbers and found the people that had he hooked everything up.
Did that help you?
It healed. I think it healed it really fast, way faster.
How often did you use it?
Every day.
Okay, because I'm going to be going there twice a week.
Oh yeah.
I got to be there at 7 in the morning.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's like an hour long.
Yeah, but it's good for you.
Oh yeah, whatever's going to get me.
Get you moving.
Walking and moving again.
Yeah. Get those people there to encourage you and everything.
Hey, I got a sock on today.
A sock?
It's the first time I've had socks on both of my feet.
Oh,
since
fuck.
Finally, the surgery wounds and everything
are Oh, that's good.
Basically almost healed up.
And they took the pins out and everything?
Pins are gone.
Pins are gone.
Yeah, so I've had 3 big achievements in the broken foot realm in the last couple of days. The one crutch. Yeah. Then also last night I was able to take a shower standing up for the first time in 3.5 months.
No way, really?
I've been sitting in my little chair with my foot out of the bathtub for a while, which is a pain in the ass.
Oh, God, I imagine. Yeah.
But
Can
now,
you give me the lighter out of that box?
What do you need? But now, here you go, sir.
Thank you.
You'd be amazed what it feels like to take a stand-up shower after you can't do it for
yeah.
a third of a year.
Yeah, I've had... I don't know. I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of a time where I couldn't take a shower because a limb was couldn't get wet.
I'm able to take a shower, but here's what I have to do. I have one of those scooters.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't want to have crutches, you have a little scooter.
Yeah, the little scooter.
Got one of those, so I scoot into the bathroom. And there's just my bathroom is like a long hallway almost. So it's big enough for me to just scoot in. And when I exit, I've got to scoot backwards. Right? I can't turn around.
Yeah.
So I scoot in, shut the door, and then I leave that scooter there. And I have this almost like a lawn chair that I pick up. And I've got one of those old like clawfoot bathtubs.
Yep.
You know, it's got a shower
It's like
curtain
old.
around it.
Yeah, you can take a nice bath in that big old thing, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I take a lawn chair and I put it in the bathtub, right? And then I have to like somehow maneuver myself from my scooter, plop into this thing in the bathtub with my foot out of the shower. So my foot's out of the shower, and then I have just like an extension on the shower hose, so I can just like, move it around and bathe myself.
Have you had any accidents, like falling or anything?
No.
No? Okay.
No,
that's good. Survived that.
Survived that one.
Yeah, that's good.
But now I can get both feet in the shower and do it almost like a human.
Oh, shit. Liberating.
Yes, it is.
It's got to feel good. It's got to feel good to have like that flexibility back, that maneuverability.
Well, getting there.
Getting there, one step at a time.
Yeah, I don't have much mobility, like moving my foot up and down and side to side, but that's what they got me working.
You've been climbing. You said you were climbing earlier, right?
Yes, I've climbed 4 times this week, so I'm trying to get back in the swing of things.
Dang, man.
My stamina is gone.
Yeah, you're out of shape. It's going to take some work.
And I'm not putting any weight on this leg when I'm climbing. I'm just kind of putting it behind me and hopping on my other foot, which is a little more exhausting too. But I mean, it feels good to be able to actually go out there and do it.
Yeah, no kidding. Imagine how many. You see, you've been going to the rock gym to work, right, for a while, but you haven't been able to climb.
Yeah, I've been working. I think I took a month off after the initial accident. Oh, okay. But I still work there a couple days a week, teaching safety classes and stuff.
Well, that's cool. Keeping that going.
Yeah, it's fun. It's where I like to be. What I like to be doing. But now I'm getting closer to being able to go back outside and climb that route.
Get some shit going. Yeah. Get some shit going out there.
Vengeance.
Make it happen. Yeah.
So what are you up to, man?
I've been going. I've been trying to get live streaming going on this, and that was a fail. That was a fail today. Got a box. Turns out the box is obsolete. They sell the box.
Yeah.
You can buy the box, but the computer I'm using, the operating system is too up to date.
Damn it. Too up to date.
This is the shit that I'm dealing with. It's driving me crazy. And I have 2 MacBook Pros. I have an older one, and then both of them are old. It's relative. But here's the thing. I take the newer of the 2.
Yeah.
And I go to use that with this live streaming box, and the MacBook that I have has no ports on it, like nothing useful really. So it's like I needed to plug an Ethernet cable into it, an internet cable into it. So
this is trying to figure out the live video.
This is trying to figure out the live video, and so I didn't have everything. So I had to pull out the old laptop that had all of the functional utility, the ports and stuff on the side to get the thing kind of. And then I found out that the old laptop's operating system is too new for the piece of hardware that I wanted to use.
What a pain.
And then right then the FedEx guy showed up with my Google Pixel phone.
So here's what's funny. Last week we were supposed to have this 3D, not even 3D, 360 degree camera.
Oh, yeah.
But it showed up and damn it didn't work and it was too complicated. So we
Yeah.
don't have it. This week it's live video. Well, it ain't going to work this time.
You would think this stuff would just be out of the box,
It should be.
You think?
I mean, here's your third chance. You have this new phone. So
Yeah.
you still have this next week. I'm going to assume it's a success.
Yeah. I'm already enjoying the new Pixel though because I got it out of the box, and first I had to figure out how to turn it on. Right, it just didn't like dance for me or anything. So a little button on the side after reading the little brochure that came with it. Long story short, I got that thing. I have the iPhone. All I had to do is swap out the SIM cards, and then plug my new phone into my old phone with a cable.
What kind of cable?
It's just they gave you all the connectors and everything, man. Yeah, and they're like, this is the fastest way to transfer everything important from your old phone to your new one. And
same SIM card and everything.
Fucking same everything.
That's nice.
5 minutes, no hassle.
Why don't they just make everything like that?
Hassle free.
free.
What we do is we send it back if it's not.
Yeah.
Like that 3D camera. Fuck that thing.
Couple years.
Yeah, I think there's easier ones out there. The problem was, here's the thing. I wanted one that could maintain, that could record up to 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
So if we're doing a podcast and it goes 3 hours, we should be able to capture the whole thing. or have it so I can stream the video somewhere, and save it somewhere. And the only reason why I bought that fucking iFly thing was because
iFly.
iFly. It's even got a dumb name.
Well, iFly is an indoor skydiving place.
Is it? Yeah.
I've gone up there in the
Yeah. They should have thought that out a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I think it's the iFly. But yeah, I mean, yeah. It was supposed it could record 3 hours, so I bought it. But then I didn't even look at anything else.
Yeah.
That was the first one I found that said it could record a long time. But I'm kind of glad it's gone. We'll find something. One step at a time. But I did listen to the first couple of podcasts, and I was like, well, I didn't shut it off, so we should keep going.
Yeah.
Why not?
What the hell?
So today is what? The 10th.
The 10th.
The 10th of November, just after the presidential election. We'll be looking back at this. We'll be looking back, Max, at this period. We'll be watching this video on YouTube 50 years from now.
And hopefully, we'll be saying that was the most crazy election of our lives. Hopefully.
I'm thinking, did you hear that little optimistic nugget that I left in that sentence? We'll be watching these videos 50 years from now.
Assuming that we're still here. 50 years from now.
See, the back of my mind, I don't see it, man. The fucking crystal ball. I'm looking into the salt lamp, and I'm not seeing 50 years from now, right now.
You know what? I deactivated my Facebook account today for the first time in like 10 years.
Oh, good man.
Because I've had it with a political post. I can't.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah, I can't handle it.
It's so funny.
I'm just going to...
temper tantrums.
Yeah.
I even got wrapped up in it a little bit.
Did you? Yeah.
I was doing the Twitter though. I was on Twitter. I wasn't Facebooking anything. Other than I did see somebody did manage to post what's the prospective first lady's name? Do you know her name?
Melania. Trump.
So there's some nudies going around of her right now.
Yeah, I've been seeing those.
And
I think I saw that you posted it.
And I tried to squeeze one in. But Facebook pulled it.
That was probably the straw that broke the camel's back. That's when I deactivated it. Gene is posting nudie pictures of the.
This is intolerable.
I gotta get off of here.
That guy is an asshole. But I posted it. I mean, because when I seen it, I'm like, wow, that's the first lady. That's crazy. Yeah. This is really like this is idiocracy. That's kind of how I felt when I seen that. It was a huge. Aha moment, I'm like, wow, this is idiocracy. It kind of reminds me of like those movies. I can't even think of the movie right now, but like where the bad guy and his gang kind of roll into town and take over.
Yeah.
And then once you've lost the battle and the bad guy has won, and he's up there doing this speech about, now that I'm in charge, we just got to work together.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, but you're the fucking bad guy. That's kind of how I felt when I heard Trump was president. Honestly, I mean, it's all speculation. I'm really concerned about the environmental stuff.
Oh yeah.
Everything else could just eat a bag of dicks for all I care. It's the environmental stuff, man. That's the stuff that concerns me the most because.
Well, that's where I'm concerned the most as well. But kind of where I'm at. I'm a conspiracy theorist.
Oh yeah.
I mean, not like tinfoil hat wearing.
Yeah.
But either way, this thing could have went in my eyes was, who the hell knows?
Bad.
Yeah, who the hell knows what Trump's going to do? He could be a loose cannon, and Hillary Clinton is probably the worst person that the Democratic Party could have put up.
Oh man, and it's so funny that they tried to rig it and they got caught rigging it and they lost rigging it. Yeah, there's definitely a hint of you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
And
I'm 38 years old, so I've been able to vote now for 20 years. And I voted in every single presidential election. I voted for president. I didn't vote for either one of these people. I didn't vote at all.
Yeah.
For president. And I know that's a lot of people get pissed off by that. Like that's your duty. But I don't know. Sometimes I might regret it a little bit, but.
Here's my thing. I personally think it's the party's fault for one. Both of the Democratic National Committee, right, and the Republican National Committee. They're both to blame for serving up the absolute worst candidates possible, and then forcing us to make the decision. Right? It's the illusion of choice problem that I have. It's like you have no choice.
That's why I hate the two-party system.
It's a broken system,
and I don't have like the answers of what should be done. The two-party system just eliminates so many people.
Yeah.
I feel like anyone that gets into those two realms, I feel like they have to have this set of values. And it creates this huge like war between two groups. And people like get so tore up about this stuff.
Now? See, here's where I should have paid. We went. Full disclaimer: Max and I went to the LA Unified School District. I went to high school at Little Rock High School. So when it comes to deep level knowledge of certain topics, completely fucking oblivious, right? And this is one of them, right? This is civics, right? Don't you get like a half a quarter of civics that you split with economics?
Civics and economics,
right? So you basically get a very light survey of the stuff. So yeah, I mean, what was I?
We're not experts here, folks. That's the disclaimer.
Yeah,
we're just two guys sitting in Gene's house talking on some mics.
So my thing is like, okay, so when the two-party system formed, was it always just two parties? I mean, you have obviously not, right? We have the Green Party, Libertarian Party, and probably like a dozen more that, for all I know, right? But when was it that it became a kind of a monopoly? I know monopoly would be like one company or one side, but you have two factions here, red versus blue,
and they're the only things that are really taking.
Yeah, it was almost as if at some point in our history, and I'm sure this is the case, right? At some point in our history, they managed to kind of get a foothold over everything, and then they managed to manipulate the judicial system so that we could have laws that would make it harder and harder for third parties to get involved. Yeah. And then fast forward to now, and they're just two bullies, and there's no kicking them out. Yeah. And their influence is so great on, like I said, the judicial system. Like they're manipulating and making laws, right? That it's always in their favor. I thought for sure that Donald Trump wasn't going to win this, right? And I thought for sure after Donald Trump lost that there would at some point be a new law to make sure that somebody like Donald Trump wouldn't be able to get in, But he ended up winning. He shocked everybody.
Well, we just have, I mean, what can you do now at this point, right? Everybody's just got to hope everything works out and hope that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be optimistic about it because I have no choice really. But again, I get real concerned because the vice president is just kind of a hard fucking holy rolling climate change denier, like the absolute opposite.
It seems like the country goes in cycles. Like that's the way I look at it. You get a few years where it goes like really left, and then you get a few years where it goes really right, and it's like the people they just want something different, I guess.
Don't you think it's getting a little more extreme though? Like, yeah, they go back and forth, but now it's like the consequences are just kind of piling up.
Yeah, I think both ways.
It's getting more and more.
Escalates with the more you got more people, you got more problems, and it just gets more intense every year.
So we're swinging back, and my feeling is there's going to be some short-term positives, right? People are going to hopefully see a little more money when things kind of relax, That I'm talking like short-term, like a couple of years, like the middle of his candidacy. He's going to undo a bunch of stuff that a lot of people were taking advantage of.
Sure.
Wall Street's going to go fucking crazy, right? Like, you thought 2008 was bad, and then we tried to, we didn't even do anything to regulate, just imagine what we're going to do now. We're going to lax it even more. The environmental stuff, like I said, climate change denier. In other words, we'll avoid the data and the facts, and we'll just kind of paint our own pretty picture.
So what are they doing exactly, like environmentally? He's just not going to invest in any environmental.
No, I don't think it's about the green side of things. I think it's about
quit fracking and what about the pipeline?
Yeah, I'm sure that shit's all full steam ahead, if not more, right? So there's
I don't know.
Dude wants to get rid of the EPA, right? So he wants to get rid of all environmental protection. He just basically wants to get rid of it, deregulate everything. So that's a little scary. Basically, large corporations with lots of money and influence and power and everything like that, they're all at the same parties together. That's the thing. They're hanging out with Donald Trump. So, but I don't know. Still has, there's two other branches of the presidency that have to deal with them. So
yeah,
maybe there will be some resistance. I don't know.
I don't think either of these candidates. I think they're both not good candidates, but I don't think either of them is as evil as everyone's making them out to be. I think they're both set on trying to make things better, but they have both their crazy ideas, I guess, if they're going to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm tired of.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm kind of tired talking about it.
It's like. The hell with it.
I don't really want to talk about this subject anymore. Just
I'm
uncomfortable right now. I'd rather talk about.
This is what the world is talking about right now. Everybody's pissed, and it's just so. It's just so far one side or the other. Yeah. The people are just hating everybody over.
It's crazy though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some PhD students out there right now writing papers on this whole experience.
Oh, dude. There's going to be books and movies based on this.
It's so crazy. Yeah. Fascinating.
Well, we'll see what happens now.
Yeah.
All you can do, unless you're going to go out there and be an activist and get involved in politics or whatever it is, which I am not.
I'm not interested.
I want to chill up in the mountains and barely know what the hell's going on.
Yeah,
only because I'm tired of it. I used to pay attention to everything.
Yeah, there's this thing with, things. Don't try to focus too much on things outside your circle of influence.
Yeah, what do you have control over?
Yeah, not saying that you should kind of be so passive aggressive that they'll just kind of steamroll you. You got to kind of.
Educate yourself and know what's going on.
I think maybe just to have. I think voting, voting, and maybe there's a lesson to be learned here with respect to voting. Yeah. Because really, all the way up to the election, people were voting. They're voting to get. They're voting to get that person to that point. Oh, and whether it was ratings or influence from constituents in other areas,
it's all the media, in my opinion.
It's all the media.
The media picks who the hell's up.
Well, here's an interesting thing. I read it on Twitter. It was, people voted, and I think I was listening to our podcast from last week or something, and you'd mentioned something about the reason why people are voting for Donald Trump isn't so much about his policies or his character. It's the fact that he's checking all of this political correctness and throwing it out. He's like, this is all bullshit. This is all a scam, and it's all rigged, and I'm calling everybody on it. And somebody...
It's like a big, screw you to the system.
It's a big screw you to the system. And then I thought, oh, I get it. But it's more like a suicidal... It feels like more...
a kamikaze.
It's more like a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head, in front of your cheating girlfriend or something, It's like, I'll get you, and boom, That's kind of how I felt. That's what that vote meant was the American people are sticking it to the man, but at the same time shooting themselves in the face.
Well, if you think about it, every election, you have about half the people in America completely pissed off and angry and saying that the world is over now. And it happens every election. Yeah. And the world, everybody says it's more dangerous every time, but I don't think we're going to fall apart and go into chaos.
I don't think so either. The question I have for myself is, this is the very first election where I actually felt like things are in jeopardy. I don't know. Maybe it's because I just felt the pressure from the rest of the world on. It's probably much to do about nothing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh well. Hey, Prop 60, what's that for? In California, legalize the recreational use of
it's passed. You could light up
marijuana. So technically the world in California is much happier.
I heard that the California population is now the largest population of legal marijuana in the world.
Really?
Like if you take all, and I don't know how true this was, but if you took everywhere else in the world that had legal marijuana, California is a bigger economy for marijuana.
No kidding. It's going to be crazy. See, it's a good industry to get into. Honestly, right now, it's like a gold rush. If you can come up with a business model that works, and that's not too hard. All you got to do is start looking at the industry from Colorado and in Washington State, and just start looking at like opportunities, going, all right, who's doing what?
How does this affect the doctors now? Like, you get the Santa Cruz Weekly and it says, come get your med eval.
Yeah.
What happens to these guys now?
Well, there's still medical and recreational marijuana dispensary. Well, there's still it's still separate. It's still separate. Yeah.
So why is somebody going to choose to go pay for a doctor's note? Is it going to be for like legal purposes?
Probably cheaper. I would say it's going to cost more at the liquor store than it is. You know what I'm saying? Like not the liquor store per se, but it's the difference between it's going to be a lot cheaper to go to a dispensary with a medical marijuana card.
See, I can't imagine it being that much of a price difference because everybody around here has a medical card. You can easily just ask your buddy to go pick it up, right? So you can't really make price differences too much, especially if people could grow their own.
Right. I'm sure they'll sort that out too, right? I'm not sure how the government's taxing the medical stuff compared to how they're going to tax the recreational stuff. So, that's one area of savings. I don't think they're going to do this. They're taxed the same way. So
I wonder if all these doctors that do these medical evaluations, I wonder if they're voting no on this because it probably affects their livelihood.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think I don't know. It's just all speculation, right? But what the hell did you just do?
I told you I was going to be knocking on this stuff.
Damn you. Just kidding.
Happens every time.
Oh, well. But I don't think a lot of these doctors rely on those pot cards for like a living, though, do they?
Oh, sure they do. I mean, there's offices all over Santa Cruz.
Yeah, but
where these doctors are in every day with like lines of people just
waiting. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, that's how it is in Santa Cruz.
I'm just thinking. I'm thinking it still works. It seems to still work in Colorado. I think they have it split there, so you could have a pot card there and go get medical cannabis, which is probably just cheaper. Huh. And then you could buy some pot at the stores.
I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out. We got about a year or so, they said, before you can go to the store and buy it.
You know what we can call the show?
What's that?
I don't know for sure, but I've heard.
I don't know for sure with Maxx and Gene.
I don't say that about everything we talk about. What do you think about this? Well, I don't know for sure.
I don't know for sure.
We'll have to look that up.
I don't know for sure with Maxx and Gene. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure.
Sponsor break.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. I caught that Amanda Knox documentary on Netflix.
I started it and I can't remember if I finished it or not.
Well, I only bring it up because I think we were talking about it at one point.
We generally talk about it.
And I was amazed because I remember it being on TV, like as a kid, I think, or it was like I don't know how long ago it was, but
I didn't follow all the.
I don't know for sure, but I think it was like 10 years ago.
That's a good one. Was this in Italy?
Yeah.
Did this take place in Italy?
So, what blew me away, and one of the reasons why I'm bringing it up, because I had no idea how innocent she was.
Yeah.
And this thing drug out for years, like three. I think.
Oh, they just want to pin it on the American, I believe.
And then you listen to like the chief detective, the Italian chief detective, and now you can understand why they're putting scientists in jail for not being able to predict earthquakes. Oh. They're like fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Like this guy was so. It was hilarious because he was like this guy who wore the investigator hat, the detective hat, at his little police, police station, which is probably this small police station where they don't get a lot of cases, let alone murder cases. Yet he had this whole idea about himself, like he was a fucking
Magnum PI.
He was like Magnum PI / Sherlock Holmes. Like he was like the detective. He knew his shit, and like immediately he had drawn this conclusion based off of like bad data, faulty evidence, and just his own like just his own lens, the way he sees the world, and pinned it on this girl Amanda Knox and her boyfriend, right? And then that was the end of it. So it basically came down to like, that's my decision. The decision's been made. Whatever I can do to make sure that she stays in jail and goes to jail, so I look like the winner, is what I'm gonna do. So so it was like this,
I mean, we
crazy shit.
Last week when we were talking about the John Benet Ramsey case.
Yeah, right.
And the same thing happened there because the local police went right to the family.
Yeah.
And then they overlooked DNA evidence.
Yeah.
Which now they're going back and questioning like 20 years later. But it was the same type of thing. It was like the sheriff came in and kind of he was the big detective guy and said that he did it. And then he found the clues that he wanted to find to make it match his narrative.
Yeah. They did the same thing with the Amanda Knox thing.
Imagine how much this happens every day.
Oh,
and
God.
people get convicted.
That's the big scary thing.
You know about these because you got an American overseas in Italy, so it's catching the news. Or, John Benet Ramsey's little.
There's another California state bill, I think, to abolish the death penalty. Did you hear about that? I don't know if it got passed or not, but it makes me think that probably didn't. I don't know, but you think about these cops and these lawyers and just that whole system, and some of these people, man, they're fucking just manipulative. They want to win, and they'll just steamroll over anybody to get there, to get to that point where they win something. And that's kind of how that whole fucking
it's too stressful for me.
Imagine living a life like that. I wouldn't want to get caught up in it. That's the thing, right? Like getting caught up in a situation where you're innocent, and really the only way to get out of this is to have money, so you can pay the right people that can, who can spend the time debunking and fixing everything.
Did you watch Making a Murderer?
No.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
Oh, was that 10-part series on? It was like an NPR type of thing, wasn't it?
I don't know if it was NPR, but something like that. It was like a 10-part series on this guy.
Eva was watching it, and I didn't catch it. She was like the second or third. She already started it. Train had left the station. Yeah.
It's worth watching.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. I mean, you think the cops really framed this guy.
Yeah.
Put him in jail for a long time, and then he gets off, right? They find evidence that he's innocent. And then he goes and kills somebody else.
Oh, crazy.
And then he has a nephew or something. I don't know. I can't remember exactly. But the nephew said that he saw like this murder happen. The nephew was kind of crazy.
I remember those parts. He's kind of dumb, right? Like he's not very smart, so he's easily manipulative. You can manipulate him into saying pretty much anything you wanted.
So they think the cops might have just made him say that he saw this murder. But, I mean, it's too weird. I think the guy is guilty.
Yeah.
Personally. But it just looks like bad cop work, and like they were trying to frame him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think if you put it into perspective, I mean, these guys are trained to do a job, like these cops, right? But if you're not doing it a lot, like say the major, like a big city, a big city that gets a lot of crime that requires a lot of really good detective type work. Those guys are going to be so good at what they do. They know how to work a scene, right? Compared to like these fucking guys
who get like one crime every 4 or 5 months.
Yeah. Like those Italian douchebags that thought they knew their shit, but they completely botched all the evidence, because they didn't know how to collect it properly. And they contaminated the scenes. Like they had shit sitting around for like 3 weeks in the open air, in a house, and they're like, anybody's DNA could be on it by then,
That's scary.
Yeah, that's the scary thing. And it's also scary for, what we don't know, right? So they can manipulate us, right? Almost becomes a straw man argument where they know more than we do, so they use that against us to make us feel stupid. And they win, and you're locked up, and you become a slave, modern day slavery. 1984.
Oh, you're stressing me out, bro.
Sorry, buddy.
So I saw a new show called Westworld.
Did you watch it?
I've seen 2 episodes.
Oh, shit. What do you think?
Have you seen it?
I'm caught up.
Are you caught up?
I'm caught up.
Did we talk about the show?
I watch too much fucking TV. I'm pretty sure. I work on my computer, on my laptop, in my free time, and the TV's running in the background, so I pick up everything.
So how far in the future do you think something like that is? I could see that being a possibility.
Yeah, isn't that something, right? Good question.
So the premise of the show is it's like a theme park, right? And like these rich people come there, and it's almost like an Old West setting, and all the people that you encounter are actually synthetic.
Yeah, they're synthetic beings. They're like
but
androids.
they look just like regular. They have real actors, and this. I mean, there's Anthony Hopkins.
There's
in this, Ed Harris.
Yeah,
Good
it's on
guy.
HBO. It's Ed Harris is badass too,
Yeah.
and and they have a conscience, and they have a little inner voice in their head and everything, and they're like us.
Yeah, it's like it's definitely a show with underlying like tones of good and evil.
Yeah.
Like we noticed when we were watching it the other day that people that were wearing black hats versus people that were wearing white hats, and it was like people would choose, and that was almost if they were good or bad people.
Interesting. I didn't notice that.
Just look for that when you're watching it next time. I mean, I'm only 2 episodes in.
Yeah.
But
I think I'll try not to give away anything that way.
okay.
Because
Spoiler alert.
How far in the future do you think that is? I'm thinking I'm thinking like 1,000 years.
Oh, I'm thinking 200. Just think of what we've done.
Okay, all right, yeah, okay,
years.
like 15 years.
15 years.
15 years. No, I'm thinking probably 100, 200 years.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be kind of crazy?
What would you do?
If I were there?
Yeah.
Oh, I probably would not do anything evil.
It would just be like hanging out in the old days.
I probably wouldn't do anything. Bang a lot of chicks, probably.
Shoot some bad guys.
Yeah, shoot some bad guys.
Yeah.
Shoot some bad guys.
So you do what everybody is going there to do.
Yeah, pretty much. It wouldn't take long to become like part of the herd, probably.
So you went from I wouldn't do anything evil. I'd bang a lot of chicks and shoot some bad guys. What the hell?
I was gonna say I'll get drunk, and I'm like, wait, I don't drink, and I wouldn't go drinking there either, so I can't do that. I don't know, but wouldn't that be cool if that did exist? That would be pretty fun.
Weird.
That would be weird. I can see how people get trapped in there. Just want to stay there, but at $40,000 a day or something.
I don't understand how their guns work.
So that's another thing, right? I know technically they're not allowed
to hurt anything that shouldn't be hurt.
Yeah.
So the real people, because you don't know who else is a guest.
They're called hosts, right?
Host,
yeah. So the hosts aren't allowed to kill the real people, which are the guests, right?
Yeah.
People that are paying for their vacation. I've seen them shoot.
And hit the guy. He's like, I thought it didn't hurt.
What about Ed Harris? Like, what is Ed Harris? Is Ed Harris he's a real life person, like he's a guest, right?
Well, so you're ahead of me though. So you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's a bad guy.
To me, it seems like he may be an ex-partner of, what's the main guy? Anthony Hopkins' character.
Oh, right, Arnold. Oh, wait, you haven't gotten that far yet either.
Somebody said the name Arnold.
Oh, yeah.
So far, like who's Arnold?
Yeah, nobody's found him yet.
Okay, well, I thought that may have been Ed Harris.
Yeah, no.
So I don't know. But I remember he cut the guy's scalp off, and there's like some circuitry in there.
There's a map in there, so it's like a maze.
And they're asking, about the maze. So I mean, I have no idea what's going on with that stuff yet.
It's a good show though. It draws you in. I know I've been like looking forward to it every time it comes out. So
how many episodes are out now?
Like 6.
Okay, well, I'm not too far from caught up.
Yeah, I mean that's it though. It's like every week. It's like Game of Thrones probably.
What about Walking Dead?
I've watched it. I lost it. I got into it and I was hooked until they did some kind of like mid-season break.
Well, they do that every year.
And I got so pissed off by that.
Yeah.
And I lost interest by the time they got done with the break.
Yeah, I think I did the same thing. This was several years ago.
Yeah.
It was like 4 seasons in.
Yeah.
And then I really enjoyed it in the beginning, and then it seemed monotonous.
It just seemed like they kept going and doing the same shit over.
Like, oh, here's a place we could take over. Here are some zombies to kill, and these people are mean. We got to go.
We got to throw some bad guys in the middle, and then we'll just pepper a bunch of zombies in there every now and then. What I like about it though is they get pretty violent.
Well, you got to watch. It's good again.
Yeah.
So just start near the end of the 5th season or 6th season.
I think I lost it at the 5th season, so I should probably just start there. Yeah.
Yeah. But the beginning of the 7th season, it's gotten
pretty good.
Good
fuck.
as in super violent, and
Oh fuck!
I don't want to give anything away.
There was the
I
opening
guess.
season. I'm not sure what season it was, but there was that opening scene where they're all about ready to get executed, and the guys they're like their head is inside like a large trough, like their heads and they're hog
This
tied.
was a few years ago.
Yeah, that was like this last season.
This
I watched.
almost could have been the opening of this season too.
It was
almost
so
like you're
brutal.
describing the same scene.
And they're just like executing, like they're just popping people in the head with a baseball bat all the way down the line. And you're just like, no.
It's about as brutal.
That brutal? That's awesome.
Except maybe with people that you know more.
I gotta stop using the word awesome. I hate that word.
I like the word awesome.
Fucking awesome. I'm just saying, I don't know for sure.
I don't know for sure,
But I don't like that word awesome.
but I think. Oh, dude,
I said too
Rockstar. I'm not used to drinking these energy drinks.
Oh, are you all hopped up now?
I don't know.
B vitamins?
It's healthy, right?
Yeah, not really. No.
I thought this was one of them Jamba Juice deals.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Trucking along, moving into this this weekend here. Going to be heading up to the Bay Area. How far is Concord from your house?
Maybe like an hour and a half.
Okay.
Like
Got
on the
a
way to Sacramento, sort of.
jiu-jitsu seminar up there, Concord. Henry Akins.
Concord. I think it's similar to Palmdale.
Is it?
I think so. Maybe not like as bad.
My rock and roll band played a show in Concord one time, and I don't remember anything
Okay.
other than it took a while to get there.
I don't remember much about it. I just remember when I initially moved up here looking online at like places I could live and crime records. And
Concord. It's kind of like an East Bay or South Bay.
I think
San
it's
Francisco.
East Bay, like heading towards Sacramento.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't know for sure.
yeah. I'm gonna drive up there.
I'm gonna laugh every time I say that now.
I don't know for sure.
I don't know for sure.
I'm strongly considering that we should change the internet marketing, the Maxx and Gene internet show in California to I don't know for sure by Maxx and Gene.
I might be taken already though. It's a little more common sounding thing.
I don't know for sure.
I'm not-
But it's so fitting
yeah.
because I don't
I don't know for sure.
never know shit.
But nobody ever really knows anything
Yeah.
for sure.
Hey, hey, we're not fucking Snopes, man. We're not we're not here to debunk everything or even come up with real life facts like normal people would, you know.
Just talking, man.
Hey, I'm just
Going straight.
Just going straight. Like my brother.
Riding
I haven't
along.
seen that guy in a long time.
What's he up to?
My brother's a trucker, by the way. Just
Thomas the trucker.
That's why we said going straight, because that's what truckers do. They just go straight.
For a long time.
For a long ass time.
How long have you been doing that?
Oh man, like years. I think he's probably developing a trucker body too.
What does that mean?
Like overweight and just out of shape. And
I've seen two different types of truckers. I've seen like that kind, and I've seen the like skinny rail, probably tweaker kind.
yeah, East Coast turnarounds, like addicted to the drugs. You know,
Is that what's the East Coast?
I don't know.
Never
It just
heard
came. I heard it on Family Guy one time.
I don't know for sure.
I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking that's methamphetamine.
He must be one of them East Coast turnarounds.
Crank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't do truck driving. That'd be
Oh
hard.
God, you would have to sedate me with something.
What do they do? They live in their cabs now? Is that
Some of them do. Yeah. My little brother's got he's got a route though now. Like he's got one of these little. He's got this nice little job down in Southern California where he picks up some stuff and then spends all day dropping it all off, and then by the time he finishes in the evening, he's done for the day.
so? Do truckers own their own truck?
I think you can. I think you can after so many miles, once you've kind of become a professional driver in a sense, and you understand the system, the business, and everything, you can go. You know, I think that's the goal, really, like the progression for most guys that are like ambitious. You know,
That's like you have your own business. Then.
you have your own business. Yeah. You're not working for the man anymore. You're working for yourself. And then if you're really good, then you can start buying trucks and then just hiring drivers.
So when you see these really fancy trucks, that you
Yeah.
can tell that they have probably a room in there somewhere.
That dude's a pro.
And is that usually somebody who probably owns their own?
That's somebody who owns their own.
It's
I'm
like
pretty
having
sure.
a big RV.
Fuck yeah.
All right. And then when you see just the run of the mill truck, that's the guy that's working for.
I wonder if they have like status
I'm sure
in the
they do.
trucker space.
Of course they do. Everybody does.
Like the nicer truck you have, like you're kind of flaunting that you're a better trucker and you've been at it longer.
That
And
guy owns his own truck.
he's got money. That
He
guy.
looks so young too.
Oh my God! I want to be just like him.
uncle.
Yeah. Then there's that jealousy.
Yeah. That son of a bitch. With
Yeah.
a nice truck. And all
I-
them wheels.
Yeah, I always laugh when I see the. I always, I like in my neighborhood. There's a couple of like Range Rovers and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, you shouldn't be driving a Range Rover. You're just lying to everybody. You're just lying your ass off.
I rove the ranges.
Yeah, those are fancy cars. I was down in Hollywood, and they're like everywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
What were you doing in Hollywood?
I went down there for it was just for fun. It was got an Airbnb with a copywriting buddy of mine who had some like business down there, and I just wanted to leave I just want to get out of here for a while, and so I went down there for a week, like 4 or 5 days, and
It's a weird place.
went to the Comedy Store, and
Who was there?
oh man, Chris Rock was there.
Oh.
Chris Rock showed up, like surprised. He just got like a $40 million deal with Netflix.
What, for like a stand-up?
Like
or a show?
two stand-up specials.
Netflix is a thing, man. Cable
Dude.
TV is going to be obsolete.
Oh, big time.
It's good because I don't have cable.
Cable sucks. Yeah, they know it too. They're still an older demographic. There's older generations that haven't quite jumped on the internet bandwagon.
Yeah.
Other than surfing the web.
All right, Comedy Store.
Comedy Store. Oh yeah, Comedy Store. So Joe Rogan was there. Who's the other? Oh man, who's the guy? Judd Apatow.
Judd Apatow?
Judd Apatow. Yeah,
Judd.
I don't know for sure.
Judd Apatow.
Yeah, I just had to get it out.
What is Aleppo?
What is Aleppo? Oh yeah. So he was there doing some stand up. There's like 10 dudes there. It was a shit ton of good comedy. It was super good. I wish I lived near a Comedy Store like that.
I would like to go to the Magic Castle too.
Where's the Magic Castle
It's
at?
in Hollywood.
Oh, is it?
Somewhere I am.
Yeah.
Magic show thing.
It was fun down there. Oh, it's all magic? Like
Yeah, and
magic
apparently you
hats?
can't just go there. You have
Yeah.
to be invited by somebody who's a member of the Magic Castle.
Oh, no kidding. Like the Monterey Bay Aquarium.
Is that how that works?
No, it
Oh.
doesn't. No, they'll let anybody in for $20 or it's $70 or something. I don't know what it is.
A ridiculous amount.
Some overpriced amount.
But Hollywood is weird. I
Yeah.
mean, we grew up 45 minutes north of Hollywood. Go there every once in a while, and I wouldn't want to live there.
The weather was awesome. That one of the reasons why I went down there too is just to get the fuck out of here. But the weather was nice. Kind of reminds me of just nice Southern California weather. Super nice. And then just walking around. Somehow we ended up in the gay district. Don't ask me where, but that's kind of where we were. So me and my buddy had a house in the gay district, and so you're out walking around you're just, but yeah, it was cool. It was all good. It was super nice out there. I liked it. I enjoyed myself. Didn't really do anything though. Just kind of worked away at, internet marketing campaigns. That's when I realized I really rely on my wife for planning shit.
Yeah.
Cause man, leave it to me. Literally take off, go to someplace like Hollywood and do absolutely nothing except for like the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
That's it.
Did you see any really crazy people while you were out there?
No, not really. I mean, there's some
stood
weirdos, nothing that really stood out though. Nothing I can.
I remember the last time I was in Hollywood, and you know how I am with my gag reflex.
Oh yeah.
I was walking down Hollywood Boulevard, and there was a piece of shit laying on the thing, on the sidewalk, and it had to be at least like 12 inches long.
No.
And I almost threw up. I said, what the hell beast
Yes.
could that have come from? It must have been a homeless poo. It's the only thing I could have.
Oh, damn.
It's terrible.
Well, they're eating well down there.
They're eating
obviously.
well down there.
Can't go wrong there. It's a good place to get some money as a homeless person, I'm sure.
Right on the sidewalk. I hate that.
You think they'd be a little bit cleaner?
And a law passed, one of the initiatives just passed, at least down there, was it's now illegal to sleep in your car so many feet from schools.
Oh, nice.
And other things,
So kind of pushing people out a little bit.
Yeah, is that making homelessness illegal?
I don't know.
What is your thought on that whole thing? That's a big controversy as well.
Homeless, I think, man, it's crazy because I never really had to think about that.
Like if you had to if somebody that has to live in their car and now that's become a crime.
Well, I think
And I don't know for sure what the details are as far as how far away from certain areas they have to be.
Well, my feeling is like if you're at that point and you haven't done, if you haven't reached out, in other words, if you've done the responsible thing, you've reached out to the right services, then you shouldn't be there.
Sure.
Right? Like there should be a place for you in the system somewhere. And if there isn't a place for you in the system somewhere, then the system isn't working, right? So in which case you got to fall back to figuring out why are these people not getting into the right channels, whether it's just, job assistance or your mental health is all fucked up and you need to get some mental health or something else, So honestly, I would almost think that there should be a law against homelessness because...
But so say you take a guy who's 25 years old.
Yeah.
Lost his job, and now he's getting evicted.
Yeah.
And has to go somewhere. And say you don't have any nearby family.
Right.
So he's just going to sleep in his car somewhere where it's out of the way, I guess, supposedly, not somebody's way. A residential street.
Well, they have...
Is that a crime? Because I mean, personally, I don't want somebody sleeping in their car at the end of my driveway.
Absolutely. I don't like seeing people push shopping carts through my neighborhood. It cheapens my neighborhood. I'm like, why is that homeless person pushing a shopping cart through my neighborhood?
But then I feel bad because it's like, well, what do you do?
But here's the thing. My thought is if that guy is parked down the street from your house in his car, then he is breaking a law. That's how I feel, right? There should be a designated campground, right? Usually there are. I mean, we have one or two around here. I'm not saying every place has one, especially the cities, right? But there should be some designated place to go.
Santa Cruz has a homeless shelter.
Yeah, I mean, right. Santa Cruz is like
sanctuary,
fucking sanctuary city, right? So anybody can show up. But I mean, if the guy's gonna be sleeping in his car, he either needs to be he either needs to be able to afford the $7 or $14 or $21 to go park his car. Probably wouldn't be able to do it because I'm trying to think back to like when my family was homeless. Like we were homeless and we were traveling like not trailer park, but it was campground to campground.
Yeah.
So you're allowed to stay at like these campgrounds for like 2 weeks, and I think it's like a daily fee or a weekly fee or something to stay there. But then you have to leave and pick up and go to the next one.
Yeah.
So if the guy's so broken he can't afford that, then he's got bigger problems. Because those guys that stand out at the intersections make like $50 or more a day, unless you're really bad at it.
Oh, man. I don't know. I see some of those people, though. I've seen like some specials where they've followed those people.
Oh, God, yeah.
And then they'll go back into their car and it's like a Lexus.
Fuck, yeah.
They take off their little costume and they go home to a house nicer than ours. Out there on like...
That's been done more than once, yeah.
That happens all the time.
It's a lucrative business in the right area. Especially if you understand marketing a little bit. Like you could split test your signs and figure out which one works the best. Then you could split test your clothes and your sign. You could figure out which combination works the best. And you could go out and make a couple $100 a day, probably reliably every day. I mean, it's like there's the same dudes that are down by Home Depot have always been by Home Depot, and that's their turf.
Dude, some of them have a system. I've seen homeless people in Santa Cruz arguing over who gets the right to stand in that spot at these times.
Yeah, they're always doing it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's almost like a pocket of traffic that is going to yield some amount of money.
Yeah.
And when somebody's standing there, it's like you have a decision to make. Like either you let him continue to stand there or prison rules come out and you're like, motherfucker, get off my street corner.
I've been here every day for the last 10 years.
Yeah, or you can be diplomatic about it and go, look, let's just do this 1 hour at a time. We'll swap it out, And that's probably how a lot of them do it. But I've seen those guys yell at each other.
Yeah. All the time.
Yeah. They get into bum fights because, one street corner pays out better than the other one. Yeah, I'm sure that's like a whole underground like industry.
Oh. Dude, I was at Safeway here. This is probably like 4 or 5 months ago. And there's these two homeless guys. I'm assuming they were homeless.
Yeah.
And they were at the bus stop. And they were sitting there talking to each other, arguing about different times that people have tried to kill them. And I couldn't tell if they were telling the truth. And this was a real story. And like, the authorities should be involved, or if it was just crazy ramblings.
Oh,
but
fuck.
both of them were talking about how they had to stab somebody, right?
No way.
The first guy was talking about, and the second guy's like, well, this one guy came up and he got on top of me when I was sleeping, and he was choking me. So I woke up and I stuck my thumbs clear up to my knuckles in his eye.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and then I guess they called the cops. He said the cops didn't arrest him because the guy wouldn't say who did it.
Oh, not snitching.
Yeah, and then the guy said after that issue, his little buddy got on the bus or something and left.
Yeah.
And that guy was still standing there. And then he goes, quit talking to me, Ghost. I hate it when Ghost talks to me.
Oh, fuck.
And I was
Schizophrenic.
like, yeah. And I don't know. I guess it's nothing to laugh at, but it's...
Well, until like somebody ends up dead.
Yeah.
We've had that not recently, like the last 2 years, like a homeless dude got knifed in the back alley by the Monterey Library or something.
Yeah.
Turned out it was another... What is it with these homeless guys and their knifings, man? They like to talk about
it's bad in Santa
shanking
Cruz.
shit.
I mean, that's why people are so upset about Santa Cruz being somewhat of like a homeless sanctuary.
Yeah.
Because there was a young 20-something-year-old, a business owner who owned a business right there on Pacific Avenue.
Oh, fuck.
And one of these transients followed her home one night walking and stabbed her to death.
It's all fun and games until they start to cause issues like that.
Yeah, but what do you do? I mean, do you just round up the homeless people and...
No, the problem it's complicated, right? Because you need money. Money solves the problem.
You gotta have like mental health facilities,
Yeah,
like
you
drug
need
rehab centers.
You said it, man. That's what it is. It's usually substance abuse and mental health, right? So it's that's usually the big problems. And then if it's like bad mental health where it can't be corrected with some sort of medication, then they end up in some kind of asylum or something.
And then at what point do you take somebody and say, all right, at what point does the government come in and say, you're too crazy for the streets now, you need to go into one of these?
Yeah, well, they used to. I don't do that anymore. That's why they're on the streets.
Have them committed.
Yeah, I think, I don't, see, here we go. I don't know for sure, fact here, but I think that was a Reagan thing. Like, we had that all the way up until Ronald Reagan stopped it. Like, that was some healthcare stuff. But it's probably too expensive.
Yeah.
It's a crazy amount of money. Look how bad this healthcare system we're in right now is.
Yeah.
Fucking, it's nuts looking at open enrollment. These people trying to get health insurance, and the premiums are, the plans are fucking bananas. Yeah. The cost for healthcare
It's almost double.
And there's no way that's sustainable, right? And that's crazy. And so it's that bad with regular healthcare. Now let's just tack on an entire new system. That's the behavioral and mental health system. And
drug rehab.
Drug rehab. I mean, there's state-funded drug rehabs. There's things but they're usually really bad.
Yeah, they're either court-ordered or somebody has to like volunteer themselves.
Yeah, well, the cost of them, because like fucking rehab's like $30,000 $45,000 a month or something with a private insurance, and the state stuff is probably going to be like 10. So the state's going to fund it like $10,000 probably, I'm guessing, and it's going to be, it's not that great. It doesn't work that well. You have to really, really want to quit if you're in a state system. I think a state rehab, and they're only like 30 days, which isn't enough time. You need 90 or more.
Well, we just can't afford it.
You can't.
But we're going to build a wall.
Maybe we're going to build a wall.
It's going to be a big wall.
Yeah, fucking keep all the crazies out and all the hard workers in. Isn't that so funny when you think about it? Because I can tell you who all the hard workers are. It's not me. It's fucking. It's funny. Like you go down Highway 1. Towards your house, go up Highway 1, go north, and it was so funny because, well, it was funny, it was ironic. Okay. It was ironic, let's put it that way. Driving up, and there's a field with like fucking artichokes in it or something, and it's like harvest time, so people are out there like going at it.
I can smell it.
Yeah, they're harvesting everything right around it, garlic, Gilroy, and everything. And so you have all of these Mexicans in the field, like just working away, and then there's this huge ass billboard in the field with like 7 white women in it.
Oh, I know.
You know what I'm talking about?
What you're talking about.
And I'm like,
they're like cut out shapes of the people, right?
Yeah, well, not those ones, not this billboard. It was just kind of like whoever's family it is. Yeah. It's like they're all white women. Like the guy who owns it, like the farmer, Farmer John, decided to put all the ladies of the family in the picture.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, this is like the only time you'll ever see like 7 white women in a field working this way, you know, or in a field like this. Yeah, as in a sign like this. It's just, I don't know, hard workers, man. Fucking, it's one of those things. Like I think it was. I don't know for sure, but
good.
I think it was Georgia that abolished. What'd they do? Oh yeah, they had this kind of overreaching sweep where they got rid of all of the illegal aliens and loaded them up on buses and shipped them out. And
work stopped happening.
It literally
they had no
stopped.
food?
Yeah. They learned it the hard way because they felt like, okay, all these Mexicans are taking everybody's jobs, right? And so they hunted everybody down and scared and intimidated everybody else who was still sticking around to leave on their own. And I think it was Georgia. I could be wrong on that. Maybe it was one of these southern states, right? And then they found out that they couldn't find anybody to do the work. Like they interviewed a farmer who he was like a watermelon farmer, and watermelons is like a hard work, like humping watermelons all day long. Yeah. Fucking miserable work.
Doing what to watermelons?
Humping them, work party.
I don't know how you eat them.
Oh, buddy. Yeah. So, but yeah, people would start and they wouldn't last a day.
Wouldn't it be hucking watermelons?
Humping them. I'm thinking humping them, hucking them. Yeah, it could be throwing them, chucking them.
I digress.
Yeah, it's neither here nor there. But yeah, they had to bring them back, man. They made a mistake.
Yeah.
The families; these are hardworking families, and they work together, and it's proof that you cannot. They're an essential part of this ecosystem.
Those are some good artichokes. I like stopping at all the little fruit stands on the way up there.
Yeah, we're lucky. We're so lucky to live here.
So much better deal than going to the store too.
Yeah, always is.
Except I get way too many artichokes, and then I'm like,
what do you do with them? Yeah, well, if you
pickle them,
cut them down the center, and then what is it? I think you can fry them not fry them, but kind of bask them, cook them, and boil them in like a balsamic glaze.
Do all those things or one of the above?
I couldn't find the right word.
So I'm still not sure.
Put it in a skillet.
Okay.
With some balsamic vinegar.
So fry it. Saute it.
Saute it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But you can get a lot done that way.
All right.
You can cook a lot that way pretty fast. They're easy to eat that way. I don't know.
Just the heart?
Use it. No, the whole thing. Well, you know, the leaves and stuff.
Just the normal edible part?
like you normally eat them. Yeah,
I like to.
They're pretty good. I love artichokes, man. We happen to live in like the salad bowl of the United States right here, so we're pretty lucky. There's a lot of good food coming.
Salad bowl? Is that what they call it?
It's one of the things I've heard them say.
Salad bowl.
I don't know for sure, but yeah,
I don't know for sure. Yeah, we're gonna have to look that up. It's too bad your computer's.
It's dying on us.
On us.
I need a new one. Time for a new one. I'm thinking about going back to the Windows side again for a while.
You know, I've never had like a Mac.
They're good. I mean, well, I like them because they're reliable. Yeah. You know, they're one of the few machines that don't like go crazy on you, you know, or lock up on you. But you know, fuck, that thing's been around for 10 years.
I mean, it's always like a grass is greener on the other side type of thing, right? Because every time I get frustrated with my computer, I'm like, I need to get a Mac.
Yeah.
And now I see you're like, I need to go back to Windows.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I'm bickering a little bit, but I've seen the new ones, the new Macs that have come out, and they seem really cool. But at the same time, what really angers me is they got rid of like everything, all the ports, all the important stuff.
So, everything's hard to use again. It's just not easy.
You need to buy a dongle for it, like an accessory. And I did that today. Like I had my newest laptop. I went to go plug it into the internet, and then the port wasn't there. And I'm like, oh right, I forgot. I don't have a little fucking $39 thing that's overpriced by $39.
Why do they call it a dongle? That's got to be the weirdest word.
I don't know.
You have a dongle, sir?
I have a nice brown dongle.
Brown.
I don't know why I said that. I don't know. Dongle. Well, the Google Pixel's pretty cool. I'm already pretty happy about it because I ran a Snapchat test and it's really fast.
Oh, nice.
See, on my old phone, it was just so bad.
Where do you update the software?
On the new phone? On the old
I
phone?
said wait until you update the software.
Oh, did it get worse?
They always do.
Yeah, I mean, my iPhone's like not usable.
Yeah.
The speaker doesn't work anymore. I can't use it anymore. And
How long have you had it?
A couple of years, few years.
2 years is like the cutoff on all phones.
Yeah, dude. But the funny thing is like it's not like I'm slamming it up against the wall. It's not like I'm dropping it every 5 minutes.
I think they have a self-destruct timer in there that after 2 years it just
built-in lifetimes, man. They have built-in lifetimes, and that's the reason why I'm leaving Apple. Is they took it otherwise what was a good phone, and they just started introducing shit that made it worse and worse. So that and to encourage me to upgrade.
Yeah. Every time my upgrade time comes up, like every 2 years when your contract ends.
Yeah.
I always, and this is like 6 years, 8 years in a row now. Yeah. I've had iPhone, however long they've been out.
Yeah, me too.
And I always say, I'm going to change. And then I'm like, well, I've already paid for that app, so I might as well.
That was one thing I was afraid of. I was like, how do I get all my music? And I plugged it in to, I tethered the phones, and it was like, whoop, all the music's there now.
So does that have iTunes? Or?
No, it's got its own thing.
But it took your songs from iTunes?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Whatever's on the phone, it's just took it. Yeah. So that helped. Yeah, I fucking iTunes. That was like the worst software ever. I still haven't quite figured it out. Yeah. Like, what were they thinking, I don't know. Whatever. I'm glad to get away from them. I'm kind of excited about the new phone,
the Google phone,
the Periscope, and
I was excited about your VR thing.
Yeah, we got to do that. I'm gonna get the Dream. See, they got the little glasses. It's called the Dreamcast or something. Uh-huh. They were supposed to send me one, and they never did. So
you just slide the phone down in it. So you're actually. Is that bad on your eyes? I wonder.
I guess there is some fatigue.
It's probably not any worse than actual regular VR goggles.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Just a screen.
Yeah, on your face. Yeah. You get a little fatigue. Like a lot of people, sensitive people, kind of get headaches and stuff.
But it's not like you're gonna be sitting there all very long.
Yeah, 15 minutes or something. But oh man, I'm so excited about like the future of this stuff. It's gonna be huge.
It's gonna be huge.
It's going big. Yeah. It's going big. You know what we need?
What stuff? Like the VR stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's just the first step to Westworld.
Well, just imagine like. I mean, here's the point where like our favorite. I don't know what your favorite podcast is, but
I go through them.
Yeah, so I go through a bunch too, right? But it'd be so much fun to have a pair of these goggles on and be sitting in the dark at my own table, but I feel like I'm in the room with the other guys talking.
So we would have to have that like 360 camera, like you.
That's the idea. That was the idea. Yeah. Except for I bought the wrong camera, so I got to go back to the drawing board on that.
Yeah, it's a good idea, though.
It's a cool idea. I think that would be so much fun. I think that's the next stage of entertainment, really, is
maybe we should censor this out. That way if anyone hears it, they don't take your idea.
I hope they do take it. Yeah. Because I'm sure, I guarantee you it's already been done.
I know.
It's somewhere already. Yeah. But I'm like, yeah, it's going to be kind of fun when you're just hanging out and you feel like you're right there. Yeah. It'd be nice when it gets so good that it's like live. That way you are there.
We're not far from that.
Yeah, it's close. We're gonna coming up on it pretty soon. But
I got a concertina book.
You did?
Amazon, yeah.
Did I break my camera? Oh, I hit the spotlight button.
Technical difficulty.
There we go.
Problem solved.
So you got a concertina book?
Yep. I haven't started reading it yet, but I figured out the old Drunken Sailor pirate song.
Oh, cool, man.
But now I got a book with it. I haven't delved into it yet.
Yeah. Well, it takes some time. It's like everything else.
It's really loud.
It is, isn't it?
So it's hard to practice because I'm like, this sounds really bad, and I've got neighbors.
Yeah, it's like having a new drum set for the first time.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck that guy. He needs to shut up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck
Luckily,
up.
I have a neighbor who bangs on the drums.
Yeah. Is that the guy who smokes, grows all that weed out there in the backyard?
Yeah.
You have a drummer in your neighborhood?
Yeah, I know.
Really?
I need to play some music.
Yeah, I know. You got like a half stack sitting in your living room.
I know.
Fuck, man.
I got a cable now. I've had them, but everything's locked away in storage.
Yeah.
I've been playing my acoustic for
rocking it out. Yeah.
But I need to get the electric going again.
Why? They're fun. It's fun. Record. I think. Yeah, I break mine out and I look at it for a while and I play it for a little while and then I'm like, I put it back. I'm just too. I don't know if it's just I'm too lazy or.
Yeah, that's it.
That's probably what it is.
It's too convenient just to pick up an acoustic and start a picking.
Yeah, sounds so good though. I keep thinking about buying like a little cheap recorder, like another like M-Box type of thing, But I'm like, that's just another fucking thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can record on this stuff right here. Just,
Yeah, I like multi-track stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I figure my brain kind of works that way for writing music, as to
just building on layers.
is building it out, like get the kind of the foundation laid out,
Yeah.
you know, and then build on it. Yeah, the trick is not going overboard. That's the trick. It's like everything. It's like a shiny object, you know, where you hear something and then you're like, "Ooh, I got to put that there."
Yeah.
But then before you know it, you have like this super textured and awesome 30 seconds at the front, but then you haven't quite figured out the rest of it, and then the songs don't work. You know?
Yeah.
And then you can't play them because it's just
You're
like,
overthinking it.
Yeah, overthinking it. Get that too much.
We need to play some more songs, man.
Yeah, that would be fun.
What was the one that, something about Joe?
Something about Joe. Yes. We got to find that. We got to. Oh, man.
We always come up with them, and then we get them to where we like them, and then we're like,
Abandon them. Yeah. I know.
Such is life.
Such is life, my good friend. Yeah, man. So, no, it's getting close to fucking Thanksgiving already.
Dude, Christmas lights are already up.
Oh, my God.
Christmas songs already playing in stores.
What are we going to do about this?
Don't go.
It's going to be weird, man. It's going to be a weird 2017. What do you think about 2017? I'm not like thinking politics. I'm thinking just in general.
I am thinking about a lot of outdoor trips and getting back to climbing and making up for all the lost time.
That's a good idea.
I need to get this guide license I've been working on.
Yeah. How far out are you on that one?
I was supposed to take the exam in October.
Oh, okay. Oh,
It's already
shit.
paid for.
So last month.
Yeah, and I couldn't do it because of my foot.
So what's the plan now?
The next one's in March, and I don't know if I'll be.
You got to be able to demonstrate climbing and stuff, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And a lot of technique and rope skills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That I have not been practicing. And I need to get. Now that I'm feeling a little better, I need to get back to that.
Yeah.
I think I just took a mental break from all
Which is good. You're probably
things there while I was recovering. But now I need to make up for lost time. So a buddy of mine is getting ready to take his exam here in March.
Oh, okay, cool.
The time that I can go take it as well.
Yeah, yeah.
But if I'm not like up to the actual exam at that time, I think I'm still going to go down there. It's in Red Rocks outside of Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
And at least work on that with them. Like,
Well, yeah. What happens if you fail? I mean, you can just take it again
you got to
later,
take it
right?
again, but it's not cheap.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'll take it if I think that I physically can climb up stuff with my foot the way it is.
Oh, okay.
I just don't know what kind of, health I'm going to be in, I guess, at that point. Not overall health, but foot health.
I see. Well, let's hope you're fucking ready to go.
Yeah.
What kind of climbing you got to do by the time March rolls around? Like what kind? You got to be able to lead some climbs and stuff.
Yeah, I got to do trad lead routes of
Now, what's trad lead?
traditional climbing where you're actually placing your own protection in the rock. Like you're not relying on bolts that are preset. So
I see.
It's usually around the crack, placed with pockets or something where you actually stick gear.
That's those. So that's when you carry like 50 pounds of shit on your back
Yes.
to get up there. Yeah, it's crazy.
Expensive stuff too.
Yeah.
When I first got into climbing, I was like, "Oh, this is great.
Yeah.
This hobby's going to cost me $100 for a pair of shoes, $50 for a harness, and $2 on chalk in a few months." I mean, that's fine if you want to stay in the gym.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as you get into outdoors,
I got some extra stuff if you want it.
hey, you got to climb, man.
I know.
You should keep it, and then I'll drag you out there.
Every once in a while. Yeah, I'd rather keep it and go regularly. I'd rather keep it and go regularly than keep it and only go once in a while.
Well, start going regularly.
Yeah,
Or regularly.
just don't have the
That's a hard word.
not the motivation for that anymore. Focused more on jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Well, you would enjoy going outside every once in a while, I think.
Yeah,
Top rope.
I probably would. Yeah, I don't know. Gotta get over that fear of heights again. It takes some work, actually. Yeah. Because I remember the last time I was climbing out, I was having trouble. Like, just the height thing. My brain was just back to the old ways.
Yeah.
And
Have you ever rappelled outdoors?
Is it
Or
still
rappelled down
working?
off something?
Yeah. I think it was some obstacle stuff for the military.
Okay.
Done it a few times.
But not like off a rock.
No, not not rappelling off a rock or anything.
You should come with me to Pinnacles one of these days. It's not even far from here.
Yeah, you know.
Do some easy stuff.
Do some easy stuff. Just get out there. I don't know. Just never really kind of motivated. I never found it that interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting, is that the word? I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it's just fear talking.
Yeah.
Like, don't be scared, you big scaredy cat.
You big old yellow belly.
You yellow belly pussy. Don't be a pussy. Get out there and climb, buddy. There's blind handicapped people with no hands and arms out there climbing. I've seen them do it. El Capitan.
They just slither right up.
Fucking lying to you either. I've seen it. It's crazy.
So what are you doing for Christmas? Are you going back down south?
Nah, I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm gonna hang out here.
Yeah.
I gotta go down and see the parents though, and just Thanksgiving, and my dad's got cancer, so he's so I got to see him as much as I can. And I'm not saying that he's not gonna get over cancer or anything, but it's like cancer is not something you fuck with.
So does he have to have chemotherapy?
I don't think so. No, he's got bladder cancer. It's bladder cancer, and from smoking. Believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of crazy because I didn't really think my dad was a heavy smoker. Yeah. I knew he smoked every once in a while.
I didn't know smoking could cause bladder cancer.
I guess that's one of the things that causes bladder cancer. Yeah. Anyway, they said his insurance was only going to cover this this treatment that is a tuberculosis strain. That's kind of like a live tuberculosis strain that they inject through a catheter into your bladder, and this stuff is super toxic, right? This tuberculosis, right? So the idea is this kind of localized treatment for like 3 years, like once a week for 3 years, and it's pretty expensive. It's got like here's the kicker. It's like got a 50% chance of working, right? Wow, yeah. Which is like fucking nothing, right? And then, so there's that, right? So 3 years of this up the dick with a catheter treatment. Ugh. You have to pour bleach after you take a piss. You have to pour bleach in the toilet and let it sit there for an hour before you can flush the toilet.
Is it that toxic?
It's that toxic. And maybe it's because it's tuberculosis and it's a live, it's a live virus. So is it maybe possible that tuberculosis could get out? I don't think so. I don't know. But I was like, that could be.
I'm not sure.
What's the name of our show? Yeah. I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But the alternative is CBD. Like CBD, marijuana CBD, THC, cannabis CBD.
Is that the case?
Yeah. I guess the studies have shown that some forms of cancer respond well to high levels of CBD.
Ingested, or does it matter?
Yeah, ingested. Just get it in your body. And especially in bladder cancer is one of those cancers, I guess. So
it's crazy the medical benefits. Yeah.
Isn't it nuts? Yeah, it's crazy. So they got, like, my mom and my dad are gonna go down and see this doctor who specializes in CBD in cancer, and see about maybe getting on board with that, which is kind of nice considering that they just passed that law, right? Because he's got like a state job and stuff, and he's like, I don't know, piss test and everything, and I don't think I can do it. And I'm like, well, you could always be dead, Piss tests don't matter when you're dead, But now that they passed that law, wow. Technically there's nothing. He's good. He's off the hook. So now he's just got to get the treatment.
I mean, I wonder if companies will still have the option to screen for that.
It's a good question. Probably if they really wanted to.
It'd cost them more.
Yeah. I think that if they wanted to, they really could. It's kind of pointless though. Yeah. I think now that the cat's out of the bag, people kind of understand, because there's just been 80 years of propaganda. Yeah. It's classified right up there with, it's a heavier drug than cocaine according to the federal government. So there's a lot of misinformation, right? And so I think as an employer, if you're like somewhat quasi-informed, why would you spend money piss testing somebody for marijuana?
It may have to do if the job is somehow federally connected. Even, that could be one. And even another interesting thing is like, the idea that marijuana is going to affect your job doesn't hold up, right? Just like alcohol, right? So it's like if you're going to test for one, you might as well test for the other because they're both. And then if that's the case, then you should be able to identify whether that person's actually drunk or stoned.
at the workplace.
Yeah.
You know, other than that, you're wasting your time. It's a witch hunt. You're just hunting after. It's like the don't ask, don't tell policy for gays in the military. You know, it was like a witch hunt, and then they came down with that whole don't ask, don't tell thing. We'll get it, and it was kind of just unnecessary, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with gay people. You know, why go after them? There's nothing wrong with people who are smoking pot or drinking, you know, on their couch for a couple of beers a night.
Imagine how much money is going into the whole prison system.
It's a racket, right? Yeah, I mean,
so you know what's going to happen with everybody that's in prison now for pot-related charges?
Yep. So, which is this is another great thing, right? Because if you have a marijuana-related crime, you can petition to get out. So, if that was the only thing holding you back, they're going to drop. You're going to drop all that. So yeah, there's people, man. God, there's people doing life. You know, probably for drug dealing, right? Dealing marijuana. But if marijuana is legal, technically, there's got to be some kind of way out of that, right? It's like me selling cookies to you or something. You know, it's like, what? Maybe I didn't have a sales, business with a, sales license or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to be for that, not for the drug itself, Or I brew booze, or I brew beer. I brew beer, right?
Yeah.
And I decide to sell you some, right? Because that's kind of get you out. That's illegal, right? I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Not that anybody gives a shit, but.
Well, would they get popcorn sitting on like tax evasion because he wasn't paying taxes?
Right.
On the moonshine he was selling.
Yeah, that's probably it. No liquor license, right? So that's the stuff that you'll have to go to jail for now. Yeah. So yeah, that's cool. I'm looking forward to that. There's a lot of innocent people in jail, so it's not fair.
Not fair at all.
But that's another thing that concerns me about fucking some of this politics. We're getting a lot of very right-wing conservative, like evangelical. They just think like fucking
marijuana is the devil.
Yeah, everything's the devil, and if it's either my way or the highway,
I mean, hopefully they're coming around to a more modern way of thinking.
I hope so.
That's all you can do is hope, and then
I hope so. I think the cat's out of the bag though with like the marijuana stuff. It's like you're not stopping it.
After California, I don't think it's going to be.
You're not stopping
all the states are going to flip.
Yeah, the Fed. I don't think I don't know. I don't think the state's going to allow it. The states won't allow it. It's too much money.
I mean, it's a great business opportunity for the state.
It's super lucrative. Yeah, this is a new industry. It's like a new gold rush. I mean, there's already the money there. Why not get part of it? Oh yeah. I mean, that's the only reason why they would legalize it, because it's the tax revenue. Yeah. There's money to be made there. Well, obviously, we're super happy because as a society, it's just I think basic human rights to not be told what you can and can't do as long as you're not hurting anybody.
Yeah, I have a lot of like libertarian ideals,
dude.
I'm not I don't claim any party affiliation.
I think that's another misnomer. I don't think there's a lot of people that do, but I think a lot of people like us, we're not like, I'm not labeling you anything. Like,
I think society is getting more and more like that. And that's why there's this big, like, stick it to the system type of movement.
It's all bullshit.
I mean, I think Bernie Sanders was the stick it to the system guy on the left.
Yeah.
Donald Trump was on the right.
It's too bad he was ramrodded by his own fucking corrupt.
It should have been
party system.
Bernie versus Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, not should have been, but that would have been.
That would have been more balanced.
Yeah. I mean, that's how the voting went, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I ended up doing the fucking Hillary Clinton vote. I just because of the environmentalism.
Yeah.
That pushed me over, man. I was so concerned about that because. Fuck.
Yeah, I couldn't vote for Hillary either.
Yeah.
She too much baggage on her, man.
Yeah.
Too much baggage.
Yeah. She's dirty. She's so dirty. They're both. I mean, I don't know. I'm excited though. Not in a good way, and in more of a speculative way.
It's gonna be some good television.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I just hope we don't get hurt. I hope nobody gets royally hurt. I hope no wars get started. I hope we're not at war here at home. I hope terrorism and stuff doesn't go up. I hope we don't lose jobs. I hope we don't, have more environmental catastrophes, because the regulations going away. But I feel like
there's always going to be those things, right?
They're always going to be there.
And whoever's the president is always going to be blamed for these things.
Yeah.
And that's why when anyone takes the office, they have gray hair within a few years.
Oh, yeah.
And they age like tremendously.
Yeah.
And it's no matter who you stick in there, they're just, it's a horrible job.
It's a shitty job, man.
No matter what. And you're just going to take shit.
Yeah.
For whoever you are, whatever your affiliation is.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's broken. That's the reason, right? Like not there. Why is it that we have one person at that spot?
Yeah, well, it's a figurehead. In my opinion,
it's a figurehead. He's making some decisions, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, the job is hard and stressful, right? So it's not like it's just you're there to shake hands and kiss babies. I mean, you're doing real work.
Well, now the House and the Senate are Republican, so it's going to be easier for him to pass his ideals.
Oh, I know. Isn't that's another thing? That's why I was like, pretty much a golden ticket to do whatever you want. So everything that's been done to stifle or impede or slow down some of the bad actors, it's basically going to get restored, So it's like that full cycle. It's that full circle. It's it's letting people just get away with stuff without any double checking, looking over the shoulders, nothing to worry about. So that's a little crazy.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see
what happens.
I hope there's I don't know. It's reality TV, man.
I think it's not going to be as bad as everybody says it is.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think everybody is just in panic mode. Like I said before, half of America is always going to be in panic mode. It happens every 4 years.
Yeah. That's another problem we have with this whole system too, is these politicians, they're constantly working on keeping their job, right? As opposed to like keeping their job and working on their job, right? So it's like the moment they get into office, the moment they get into that position, they're already starting the fundraising, they're starting the handshaking and the deal making.
It should go back to the way it was, where you have these representatives that represent their town. They still have jobs, and they just go in there, and it's not like their sole source of income is, a member of Congress.
The fact that you can go in poor and come out rich. Yeah. Or in this case, this day and age, you're not going to go in poor. Chances are you're going to go in probably already well off, but then come out like exponentially richer if you play your cards right.
Well, wouldn't it be nice to vote for your own raises?
Yeah, or your own time off, or hey, maybe we don't even need to be here.
This is ridiculous. We can't make up our mind. We're taking a break.
We're kind of done. We're done. Yeah, man.
It's just
fucking bananas.
The whole system's corrupt. That's why
full of dum-dums.
Either side that would have won, I'm going to be like thinking the same thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I know next year's going to be a fun year, whether it's riddled with controversy or not. I think
all years are riddled with controversy.
Yeah. It's how you navigate the controversy that matters, I guess, or how you let it get to you.
Yeah.
But I need to take some trips, I think.
Were you go back to Nicaragua?
No, I'm thinking like just visiting some states, looking at other places to live. Keep a place here, but consider like traveling a little bit.
How about like a summer home?
No, maybe like a few months out of the year.
Maybe not summer, maybe.
Yeah, where do you summer? I summer in the Hamptons.
I summer in Arkansas.
I summer in the Southamptons.
I need to go see my mom at some point in the next month or two. I was supposed to go a couple months ago, but
it didn't happen. Fucked your foot up pretty bad.
Yep. So probably, sometime as soon as I get off that crutch, I need to plan that trip. But the climbing competition I was supposed to be in is next October. Mm-hmm. Well, it was last October, but they pushed it to my availability to get in there. They're gonna let me. I'm all over the place.
You are fucking I'm all over the place.
I'm gonna be in next year's anyway.
Hey, I'm gonna go. You want another Rockstar energy drink? I need one.
No.
Okay, I'll be back.
What else you got to drink?
Diet Coke.
Diet Coke. I don't want that either.
Water.
I'll take some water.
I gotta go upstairs and get it.
Oh, in that case, I'm all right.
All right.
Am I supposed to just sit here and talk?
Yeah.
Well, I don't have any clever stories for you today. I'm all political talked out. Yeah, that's about it. We got a nice salt lamp here. He's got another one over there. We need some posters on the wall. He was talking about getting a
I got a
What kind of posters were you talking
They're
about?
coming. In fact, I just
Hunter S.
gotta
Thompson?
pick them up. Yeah.
And a Lebowski poster.
I thought it would be fun to. I thought it'd be fun to just put stuff up on the wall that
represents you as a person.
fuck no, it makes me happy when I see it. You know, it makes me happy when I see it.
Yeah.
And so I just started doing some Google image searching, and Hunter S. Thompson always makes me smile when I see him. Right. So I found a good picture of him. A scene from The Big Lebowski. I did it in black and white though. I just wanted some black and white stuff.
Which scene?
There's like a bowling scene. So it was.
Is it when they're in their chair and Walter's like sitting there?
Yeah, I think Walter's looking at the dude, and the dude's kind of looking at the camera, and
I think I could picture the image.
Yeah. Anyway, they're coming, and then I got some jiu-jitsu ones too. I got some like old school Gracie, like a Helio picture, and
So you're gonna strategically place them?
I'm just gonna. I'm gonna
somewhere?
actually. I think what I'm gonna do is. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Strategically place them so they look nice in the camera.
Yeah.
I was gonna put them up on the wall just so they look normal on the wall.
Yeah.
But if that doesn't work for the cameras, then it's kind of silly to have them chopped off in the scene or whatever.
Then you'll have to take tape and put it on the floor where the camera sits. So
Yeah, we got to get more serious.
it gets technical.
Got to get technical with it, but we'll make it work, man. Yeah, I'm kind of excited though. It's about time to start putting shit up on the walls and maybe even do something with that TV. I don't know. We don't really need it. I don't think. It'd be kind of nice to have, but that TV's old. I got to get rid of it. I need a new one.
We could figure out one bonus at a time.
Yeah.
Jump to the live computer feed.
Now that we're YouTube sensations, we've had 10 people watch our first episode.
Yeah. Or it was us 10 times.
It's probably us. That's like 10 hours of watching it.
I haven't seen it yet, honestly, the whole thing.
It's we're just fucking off doing what we do, but
I don't like hearing myself talk.
you know what's funny? I mean, my thing is, and I'm sure there's a lot of people like me who like to turn stuff on and just let it run.
Yeah.
Like AM radio in the background. And that's kind of what I wanted from a show.
Yeah.
Right? It was like it's interesting, but it's not like I have to stop everything to listen to it.
Yeah.
And you have that you have that right if you want, but that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted something that way we could just shoot the shit, and it's just kind of like
you just hop in anytime, and
we're
just so like ADHD. We're on another topic at all.
Fucking we're everywhere, and so I thought let's do that, and that's kind of what we're doing, right? And let it go for a few hours too, like a couple of hours. I think it's just right.
Yeah,
3 or 4 is like a lot.
We're about talked out at that point anyway.
I got to figure out how to maintain. This is a skill. I think this is a skill. Having these little cameras and stuff going, and the microphones, and there's lights in here, and being able to ramble on without losing,
like I do all the time.
doing it right now.
I did a few minutes ago.
I'm fucking doing it right now.
It's a skill that obviously we don't possess.
Yeah, we fucking suck. Oh man, I hope it gets better. I'm sure it does, but yeah, being able to like just fucking pop off topics and keep them going long enough for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's not natural to me. I'm not one to sit around and just talk for 3 hours.
Well, that's why we say I don't know for sure, because we're just spouting out stuff.
Yeah. And you know what? This whole show is an I don't know for sure. I mean, I like doing it. I think we're still going to do it. I think we're doing it. Yeah. But that early on it was, I don't know for sure. I mean, we'll just try to
hang out and talk. I got some equipment.
And it's working though. I'm having fun.
That's all that matters.
And this equipment would still be here. Pretty much most of it would still be here if we weren't doing it. So we got to use it. That was my big thing.
Well, we're using it.
I'm having fun with it.
For better or worse there, sir.
Yeah, I don't know how this whole, like, that's another thing we got to figure out, this whole YouTube thing and this, oh God, there's so much that you can do now.
Yeah.
Compared to the old days when we got started with Paralore.
We've been out of the game for a while.
We've been out of the game for it's been 10 years or so, hasn't it?
Wow, yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Because we were done before I ever even moved up here.
We were like 2005, 2006. And we were podcasting then.
We were traveling all over the country.
We were doing it. We should have stuck with it, and we should have done something probably
I
more.
Think about how burnt out on that topic we would have been.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Yeah. That's it. We should have stuck with it, but with a different topic.
Yeah.
Something we could have both
had 10 years experience now.
Something we could make. Yeah. Oh, wouldn't that be smart? Like something you could take with you 10 years from now and do something with.
Well, we're starting over.
We're building a brand.
Building a brand.
I don't know, but
I don't know what the brand is.
Yeah, what was the name of our show again? I can't even remember. It's got to be simple.
I don't know for sure.
I don't know for sure, but
but
I don't know for sure, but
with the but adds a little bit of
and three
uniqueness.
dots.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure, but yeah, we'll figure that out.
I'll have to Google it after the camera
have to talk
stops rolling.
To the graphic design artist. I got this idea
on Fiverr.
I don't know, but
I don't know.
Go with it.
I don't know for sure, but what's the idea? I don't know for sure, but no, what's the idea?
No,
who's on first?
Yeah,
I digress.
I think it's a great. It's a grand slam. We better take it before all of our viewers do.
I'm sure it's already taken.
We don't have any viewers, do we?
Do you know that like there was all these websites called Screw Donald Trump? Like anything you could think of bad about
Donald Trump.
They were taken, and they were taken by Donald Trump.
No, that was smart
because he didn't want other people taking him.
Yeah,
I just heard that on the news.
That's pretty smart. Donald Trump has a good internet person. Yeah, that's one way.
Except for whoever does his Twitter.
Oh, yeah. He's got some good Twitter stuff. Yeah. What do you think about that electoral college, man?
I don't know.
See, I heard that Hillary Clinton won the popular vote.
I've been watching kind of the numbers as they come in, and I've seen it go back and forth.
Really?
The same thing.
So that kind of it concerns me.
If you look at a map of like the electoral map,
yeah,
and then you see all the red and blue, the biggest concentration. This election, like almost the whole entire thing was red, and then you have this little concentration, like in California and New York.
Yeah,
that represent half of the country population.
Yeah, I was gonna say, aren't the bordering coastlines like equivalent to, like if you took all the population from the East Coast and West Coast and added them up, it would equal like the rest of the United States, right? So that would make sense then, wouldn't it? Kind of.
I mean, the bad thing about if you got rid of the Electoral College, then only those two, or pieces of America are supposed to represent the whole entire country.
Why is that though? I mean, everybody can vote. It's a popular vote, so it doesn't matter where you're at. Your vote's going to count. Like I don't understand how, because you have more people in California than
the life and policies affect people in rural areas.
So I guess the thing is so we're assuming that, say, because you live in California, you're going to think and act like a Californian, which means if you're liberal, your chances are you're going to vote liberal. And since you have more people in California than you do, say, Oregon, which votes more conservative, and I'm just guessing.
Oregon, the whole coast is pretty much.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't care about the state. Like that's just an example.
Specifics.
Yeah,
I don't know for sure.
Yeah, fucking Oregon. I don't fucking know anything about Oregon. I don't know how they are, who they are, what they do.
I know we got a buddy that lives in Grants Pass.
See, that's about as much as I know about Oregon, right? So, but to assume that there's 5 people in California and there's only 1 in Oregon, that all 5 Californians are going to vote the same way, and it's going to be unfair compared to the one guy in Oregon doesn't seem, I don't know if that, maybe that's the rationale, right? I don't know, because they're trying to balance everything out. But what seems to be the disconnect there is when the Electoral College votes a different way than, say, the popular vote, that seems to indicate that your vote really doesn't count unless you're voting the same way the Electoral College votes.
The whole system is foobarred, man.
Yeah, I mean,
beyond all repair.
Sounds broken. But I think that was one thing Donald Trump said that I agree with, is that the Electoral College is kind of a bullshit thing. I think. I don't know for sure. Oh man. Anyway, hey, we've done like an hour and 37 minutes.
Really?
We're getting better at this.
Before we start, like, what else can we talk about?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You know what it is? We're just not. We're not doing enough interesting shit.
I've got an excuse.
You have an excuse. I don't have an excuse.
Yeah.
Other than You remember that's when we go back to like when I went to Hollywood and I didn't do anything because I didn't have my wife there to plan it for me.
Yeah.
There you go.
So you just somebody's got to lay down the tracks. I'll just roll down them.
I just need somebody to lay the tracks, and I will roll down them.
What was the last time you were on a train?
Fuck, man, a train.
An actual train.
Roaring Camp Railroad.
Yeah, I was trying to think of an interesting one. But I was like, actually, it was Roaring Camp Railroad.
Yeah. Oh, the best time I had on a train was when I was in Germany, and they have like a caboose with a bar in it.
Wow.
And you could smoke cigarettes and drink beer, and they pour like the real German beer, right? Like fucking
The Stein.
the Stein. No, they don't. I don't think they're called Steins really, but they're like this nice huge Hefeweizen or something, And you could just sit there in the train, like cruising on your, on your way to. I was on my way to Zurich, Switzerland, getting drunk on the train, smoking cigarettes like like a sailor, I guess.
When did you smoke regularly?
Off and on, very lightly though. Like I couldn't smoke like a pack of cigarettes.
Derelict.
Yeah. That's the military though.
Yeah.
Once I got out of it, I quit pretty fast.
Last time I remember running a train other than Roaring Camp was in Italy. Also.
Oh, Italy's a good time. Yeah.
Well, I was on a destroyer when I was in the Navy.
Terrible investigators.
And we pulled into Venice. But on a destroyer you can't pull into Venice because it's small canals.
Oh,
so we anchored
yeah.
out, and then they sent a barge out, and then we'd go off in groups.
Is Venice that town that's got?
It's all waterways.
It's all waterways.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy flooded now. Did you know that? Because of the global warming, climate change. It's all underwater now.
The whole city's
Yeah.
underwater.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to Google that.
Yeah.
I think I heard it was flooded, but
Yeah.
I don't think the whole city's underwater.
Yeah, it's pretty much underwater. Not like all the buildings, but like all the roads and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, they're all canals, right? But
The roads.
all the roads and the canals, the canal
the
roads,
cities with no roads.
the sea anal roads,
Yeah.
the canals,
The anal roads.
sea anal canal roads.
But anyways, when I was there,
Yep.
the barge came out because the weather was getting real bad and the sea was getting rough. Right.
Yep.
I got off on the barge. I was like the first group that got to go to Venice. Then the weather got so bad that the barge damaged the ship, so they had to pull the barge away.
Oh fuck.
And the weather stayed bad for like 4 to 5 days.
Ew. And you're stuck on land?
Yeah, I was stuck on land.
Oh, lucky.
Well, the bad part about that was, stuff in Venice is expensive.
Oh.
And I'm like, been in the Navy for 2 years. I'm like 19 years old.
So you have like no
With the
money.
group. Well, not only that, we were on deployment, so we had money, right?
Oh, okay.
But the money at that time went to an ATM machine that was only accessible on the ship.
No.
So you had to go to your ship, pull out your money, or on base. If you're at a base, you get the money. But it wasn't like U.S. Bank. You can go to any ATM machine.
No Bitcoin.
Yeah. So what we had to do was every day we had to take a train that would go like 2 or 3 hours into somewhere in Italy. I can't remember the town where there was an army base.
Oh.
And then we were able to stay on the army base.
Load up on money.
And then get money, and then every day we had to take the train back to see if the ship was, if we can get back to the ship. And we did that for like 4 days in a row.
Wow.
It was kind of cool. I mean, at least we were stuck
Yeah.
in Venice. I mean, there's worse places
You
to
could
be stuck.
fucked, man, stuck on that boat like all those other people.
Yeah.
That would be no fun.
So that was a cool.
What'd you do there? Like, what's there to do there?
I mean, there's St. Mark's Cathedral. I think that's what it's called. I don't know for sure.
Museums.
a lot of ancient not ancient, but a lot of really old, like really cool architecture.
Trademark that shit.
Sure. Oh man, yeah, it's a really cool place.
Awesome. I don't know for sure.
I don't know for sure.
I don't know. My favorite place I think was Australia was awesome.
Is this Navy travels?
Navy travels. Yeah, Australia was super good because that's when it was a good time because you got treated like a rock star.
Yeah, I heard that's the one
Yeah.
good thing about Australia. Everybody wanted to go there because people loved USA. I never got to go there. Everywhere I went, they didn't like us.
Yeah. That was one of like the last known unicorns out there,
Is it still like that?
Oh, I doubt it. I'm just guessing, but I doubt it. And then what was nice was like the place we pulled in, one of the first places we pulled into, the last place, it was Tasmania. It's a place right next to Tasmania, like this little town, like Hobart. I can't remember.
I don't know, bro.
I don't know, bro. But they hadn't seen an American Navy ship in like 40 years.
Really?
Yeah. So not only did they like Americans, but they really liked Americans over there in that area.
So what does that mean exactly?
Meant you got to drink for free, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah. You literally the mandatory fun type of parties that they'd like your ship would send you to. Yeah. You know, like a few of us got stuck on these parties, like ambassador type parties.
Sure.
And so you're everybody's going out on leave and have fun and go party, and you're dressed up in like your blues or something. And so you got to go to these mandatory parties, right? But I like the one that we had was like incredible. Not only because we're walking around in our uniforms, you couldn't get away from people. Like they were like the Beatles walking down the street. It was kind of like that, right? Well, not the Beatles in the sense there was like 100,000 people chasing you, but people would be driving around in their cars, honking the horns and waving and stuff.
Hey, it's a real life sailor.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So that was fun. That was probably my favorite place.
You know what I hate? What I dislike the most about those like mandatory fun parties where everybody's dressed in their dress whites or whatever. Yeah. They all broke out in the song. I don't know if you had to.
Did they really?
Experience. They all broke out into the Top Gun song.
No, we never had that.
That was
happen.
not your experience?
No.
Oh, dude, everywhere.
That's pretty gay.
Like in bar.
Yeah.
You're gonna offend a lot of people.
No, that shit's GHEY gay.
Oh, okay.
The Top Gun song.
I can't even think of what it is now.
I was hoping you'd sing it for me.
I've locked it from my memory.
Oh man. Now, we had this party. See, this is before 2001, right? Or September 11th. Like the first trip that we did was on first West Coast tour trip we did, Westpac. Way flexible, right? The security was way laxed. And so we would have parties on the ship, man, these nice topside parties, fully catered, and we had one in New Caledonia, I think.
You West Coasters, man, had it made.
So nice. Like New Caledonia was kind of a cool place because it's super tropical, super nice. It was awesome weather, and then we just had these great parties, and just beer was flowing, booze was flowing, and everybody's just partying on board the ship.
The East Coast didn't have it like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
and
too bad.
they, it was like a reputation of everybody stationed on the West Coast that had it a lot more kicked back.
Yeah.
And the reasoning was it was so close to D.C. that like the big wigs would be down there.
Oh, really?
We had a party once. They had a ship call. We were underway at sea. Like, all right, we're having a beer call.
Oh, okay.
So everybody came out to the deck, super stoked to have a beer. Like they haven't had a beer in weeks or months.
You guys did you have to wait 45 days to get it? Or was it just...
Well, I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
But what I do remember is when everybody got up there super excited, it was O'Doul's.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah, and people were just throwing them overboard.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's an insult.
So there was no real beer underway ever.
Oh.
For us.
I had one shitty experience, and it was a Thanksgiving. And we were because we're enlisted, right? So I was an enlisted guy. So I'm about ready to have Thanksgiving dinner from the galley, right? Which is like a turkey bologna.
Yeah.
And some
cranberry crud.
And some cranberry stuff and some stuffing, basically cheap.
The usual.
But the insult to injury is like when everybody's in line and they're serving you turkey bologna, and then in the back on the on the cutting block they're cutting up a real turkey for the fucking
for the officers.
And I thought, that's when I realized like this place fucking sucks. Yeah. Like these guys are so stupid that they can't even connect the two together. They can't even I'm surrounded by these morons. That's kind of how I felt in a lot of ways. It's like these people are not that smart, and that right there was like super insulting because we'd been underway for this is the September 11th. Yeah. This is after September 11th. That's when I was on the cruise, right? So we hadn't pulled in for I want to say 2 or 3 months of just being out and in the ocean, and so everybody's kind of pissed. And Thanksgiving rolls around, and there's no end in sight. It's not like we're going home anytime soon. I mean, we were on that tour. We were on that Westpac after September 11th for like a year.
Wow, I got out right before that.
It's gnarly, but yeah, man, that was kind of a shitty thing. I didn't dig that too much.
One of my favorite meal on the ship while I was underway was chicken. The the chicken breast.
Oh, yeah.
Everything else was disgusting almost, right?
Yeah.
Then one day we were, you know how you have underway replenishment where another ship will pull up and then you're getting all your food and stuff?
Yeah.
So we did that, and then you get in these like fire lines where you're just taking all the boxes of food and supplies and whatever, and just passing it down the line, right?
Right.
So the chicken came in. I was in the line that was headed to the kitchen, and on the box was stamped "not fit for human consumption."
That's a classic one.
And then it ruined the only thing I liked to eat there.
Was the chicken.
And they probably were just getting them from stores that donated to them to people after they expired or something.
Who knows? Yeah,
I mean, what
it's that kind of shit, you know.
Disturbing.
Yeah, for prisoners and sailors, or for prisoners in the military.
I mean, prisoners probably eat better.
Yeah.
I don't know how stuff has changed in the last 16 years, you know. But I mean, I joined the Navy in 1997.
I doubt it's gotten any better. Yeah. It's like the same Cisco food systems, you know, the lowest quality you can get to save money type of thing. If you're in a submarine, though, you get it pretty good.
Did you get gassed when you were in boot camp? Did they gas you?
Yeah. That was a good time.
Good time.
Remember when I told you about my broken feet story? And so I kind of got lucky in that because I was light limited duty. So they didn't leave me all the way in the back. Like I had to leave pretty fast and go someplace. So they like did the quick, like everybody was in there and I kind of walked in and I was like the first or second guy out.
Oh, sure.
So I got it. I had it made, you know. So, but it was enough. It was enough to like fucking have snot and spit and tears and everything just coming out of your face.
It was terrible.
It's a silly. I mean, it's kind of silly to do it actually.
So yeah, it was like a little. Like it was almost like a shed, like a storage shed.
Yeah, it's a shack. It's like a gas chamber.
And you get like
fucking gas chamber.
You get like you get like 60 people crammed up there in line, and then they make everybody in the line in your line. I think it was like 4 or 5. All take off your mask and like.
Well, you got to put it on first, right?
Well, you go in with it on.
That's right. Yeah.
So we went in with the mask on. They put this little tablet in the furnace. The room fills up with smoke.
Yeah.
And then your robe pulls off the mask, and they go down each person, like 4 or 5 people, and ask them with my boot camp group.
Yeah.
What your last name was, what your social security number was, and what town you came from.
Right. Okay.
And what state. And that's what you had to say. But you had to wait for everybody in your row to say it.
Yeah.
And the second your mask comes off, I mean, it's like instant.
Yeah.
Every hole in your head just has stuff coming out. It's disgusting.
The moment you
and you can't breathe.
You can't because you're breathing in, this nasty shit.
And then you go outside and everybody's out there. I mean, it's the most disgusting thing you can imagine.
Were you at that Lollapalooza? Was it Lollapalooza or Ozfest? It's like one of those things where they were the security was gassing the crowd.
I don't.
You remember that?
I don't remember being at.
I think it was probably an Ozfest.
Okay. I've been to both, but I don't know. I don't really.
I remember being up as like Lynn Ellen Park. I think is it one of those places where the huge grassy thing up at the top,
like Glen Helen Pavilion.
Glen Ellen Pavilion. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Near Ontario, sort of.
Yeah. It was getting late at night, and well, it wasn't that late. The memory sucks. Kind of thing.
I don't know for sure.
But yeah, it was funny because you had these, you had all these mosh pits going.
Yeah.
Like their own little universes kind of like spread out through the black matter, you know, and then they started catching shit on fire and then moshing around the fire.
I remember seeing stuff like that.
And then, so that was going, and then, but it was starting to like each swirling little galaxy was kind of starting to coalesce.
Collide.
Yeah, mixed in with the other one.
That's just chaos.
And it's causing these problems. So they started fucking gassing everybody. Yeah, that was pretty nasty. But that was another time I got gassed, was at fucking Ozfest.
Oh, you were in the middle of it.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't like in the middle of it. It just happened to get gassed by
an innocent bystander.
An innocent bystander.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't at that one.
Yeah, it was. Getting gassed is no fun. No, it is not a good time, and I feel bad for people who get gassed or shot at with fucking cops.
Rubber bullets
and shit.
Or bullets. Yeah.
Yeah, I can live in fucking a country where they shoot real bullets at you for protesting, man. That'd be
that's a whole other topic.
Fuck. Or you'd be so scared that you just don't protest.
Yeah.
That's another topic. Saudi Arabia.
Fuck with you. Hang you in the streets. Throw you off buildings.
Dude, they'll hang you straight up. Cut your hand off, and then they'll hang you right after they gave you 1,000 lashings.
Yeah, well, be thankful America's not like that.
Yeah, we could be totally fucked up.
We're not going to go that direction.
Oh, man, I hope not. You never know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see when the Gestapo starts knocking on your door.
Are you preaching fear, son?
When the Gestapo knocks on your door and asks for your credentials, let me ask you who you're voting for next time.
It's funny how everybody says, like, they're just preaching fear and hate. And now they're like, end of the world's going to happen. You need to be scared.
You need to be scared.
Both sides are equally as ridiculous, in my humble opinion.
Oh, you're absolutely... we're all equally ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all fucking bananas.
That's why you just got to
grin and bear it. Yeah. Like I said, I think, I don't know why I keep coming back to it. It's a topic that's on the top of my head right now.
It's on everybody's head right now.
Just floating around up there like nonstop, knocking on the door, just asking to come out. That's politics right now with me. I don't normally get into politics at all.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It's not healthy.
I've reached my limit of politics.
Yeah.
So that's why I've disconnected from Facebook. My goal is to go till at least 2017 without.
That's a good idea. That should be like a goal.
The good thing is I could shut it off and I could keep my messenger so I could still get emails.
Yeah.
So I'm 95% disconnected.
We need a Facebook page for our internet show.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to have to ask you to do it. Just kidding. You don't have to. I'd love to get off Facebook too. Maybe that'll do it next. That'll be like the next thing. We don't need it.
How much time do you waste a day scrolling through shit that just pisses you off?
That's one thing I could say that I don't do anymore. I used to do it a lot.
I do it only on my phone.
I'm probably on it a total of, I'd say like less than 5 minutes a day now. That's going from like 5 hours probably a day.
Wow.
At one point. Yeah. And that was probably because, here's where it kind of backfired on Facebook a little bit, I think. At least for people like me who think they know what they want to see in that Facebook feed. And then when they tailor it to what they think they want to see, they realize they don't, but they're too lazy to go back and change it.
Yep.
So you just end up looking at shit you don't want to see all day.
Sure.
And I just don't fucking look at it anymore. And I'm not missing anything, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not always on it, but if I'm just sitting there idle, I'll pull my phone out and like just start scrolling through it.
Yeah, it's definitely.
And then you get irritated by half the stuff you see. Or you're looking at people fighting over shit that
just bickering.
Meaningless. Yeah.
It's so funny.
I'm like, I don't need this in my life.
Yeah. It's such a waste of time, isn't it?
I mean, the good thing is contacting people, you know. But there's other ways.
Yeah. There's new yeah, see that's interesting, right? Because it's almost like you need a Facebook without all the Facebook.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You almost need like it's the Facebook.
The convenient thing about Facebook is everybody went to it.
Yeah.
Like literally everybody.
And that's the only good thing now is that everybody is on it. They're not in your contacts list. Well, actually, phones are pretty smart now. They
just connect right to them.
They just connect to them. So you technically don't need it. Because you could just send everybody a text message in a group fucking SMS message, text message.
And besides, I heard they're going to start charging.
Yeah.
That happens every few months.
I tell you what, I'm going to post something about charging, and I want you to share it. Okay?
And if you share it within the next 5 minutes.
In solidarity. For our cause. Yeah.
What's with all the people who post, and I see it all the time too, like, this is my legal representation.
Yeah. Yeah. What was it like?
Profile, security. Privacy. You will not use my stuff, Facebook, and I declare you can't because I say it and I posted this. There you go.
Yeah. I am not giving you permission to use my name.
This null and void when I checked that box that said I accept everything that you do because I say so and I reposted. By George.
Oh, there needs to be a fucking website that has all of that stupid shit in one spot.
How many people do you think believe that stuff?
Oh, well, the people that post it, obviously. So
a lot.
So I'm thinking there needs to be a website that just has all of that stuff there. Yeah. So guys like me can just troll my friends that are connected to me by just fucking re-syndicating it all.
Dude, good news. I got this email the other day. I guess there's this guy in Nigeria who got in a car accident.
Were you a prince?
No, he was.
Oh.
But I guess he's related to me somehow. All I got to do is send this guy my bank account number, and they're going to wire me all his money.
My mom got nailed for that scam like that.
Really?
For like $5,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Oh, man. God.
It's funny because I've actually heard people telling that story, like
Yeah.
they really thought it was true.
Tell me about it, right? For one, I've never met someone so naive as my mother. So full disclaimer, she's like the mom of moms when it comes to just completely gullible and manipulative, right?
Not tiv, but manipulate.
Manipulative.
Well, then you're the one doing the manipulating.
Yeah, well, she's manipulative, right?
Okay.
So I can manipulate her, right? Does that make sense?
No,
like I can if
then you would be manipulative.
Yeah, he's a manipulator. She's not. Well, you know what I mean, right?
I know what you mean.
Okay.
You're the manipulatee.
Yeah, she could be manipulated. She could be manipulated quite easily, right? Super gullible, quite. She's typical mother. Kind of like I'm afraid, like when she becomes like a senior citizen, that she's a perfect example.
Clearinghouse.
She's a perfect example of somebody to take advantage of, right? That kind of thing. Anyway, she'd watched something on Oprah about secret shopping, right? And it just so happened that she'd got a phishing email, like a secret shopper phishing email.
Oh, like right when the
Oprah. And I can't remember the scam because I'll mess it up if I try to explain it. But it had something to do with her mailing them a check or something, or them mailing her a check, and they cash it immediately, get the money, but then the check bounces, and then you're on the hook for it somehow. Yeah. So that happened to her for like $5,000 or something like that scam. And then she got kind of in trouble for it. Me and my dad were like, come on, don't be so. What the fuck? Come on, don't use your brain for you're on the internet, for crying out loud. And then like 2 days later, she gets like a Nigerian email scam, right? And she's literally convinced that after reading that email, that she has a direct descendant who's of royal blood who left an inheritance and it's locked away, but in order to get it, there's some legal fees involved. Yeah. And she's trying to explain to me this whole scenario, and I'm just thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You just got fucking taken for $5,000 last week, and here you are talking about this Nigerian.
Was it within a week?
It was like a week. It was like literally like that was her bubble on the internet.
Yeah.
And it got taken away. It was like, we let you on the internet for 2 weeks, and it cost everybody $5,000. We gave it to you for 2 weeks, and it was like, all right, you don't have the internet anymore. Now she's got it, but we had to teach it. I didn't realize that you literally have to go out and teach some people about this stuff.
Sure.
They just don't have the common sense. Yeah, they just don't have the common sense. They don't have the street smarts, I guess. Too trusting, like you said.
Yeah.
It's dangerous, and it's getting more complicated or more sophisticated. So it's only getting more and more crazy.
Nigeria is known for this. So imagine how many people they've had to have actually successfly.
Oh, it's easy.
They have to be making millions off of people.
Yeah, it's a huge racket, and just like that Black Mirror episode, where that kid got all those guys were getting blackmailed. Did you watch that one? The laptop.
Yeah.
At that shit, probably not. I don't know what the scams are these days, but they are pretty close to that.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, not so much with the like you're going to fight to the death and stuff, but it's ransomware. I think is what they call it. You'll visit a website, probably a porn site or something, and somehow something will get on there, and then you're literally trying to figure out how to save your data on your computer, or risk, exposing stuff to the internet that you don't want there in exchange for money. Fucking crazy. So there's
don't do anything you don't want other people to know about,
and you have nothing to worry about. Yeah. Yeah. Good luck there. It's gonna be crazy is 10 years from now when VR is part of everybody's lives.
Oh man.
And I'm really thinking that there's going to be sensors and stuff in your room, your house and your rooms probably to help with the environment, and that could be for everything, gaming to just intelligent home type of stuff.
I mean, they already have that technology.
Yeah. So I could imagine if your house is integrated that way. Hell, my thermostat's that way now.
Just knows how many people are in the room, and it just automatically adjusts temperature, lighting.
Yeah, all of that. And imagine what the hacking is going to look like. Somebody taking over your house.
I mean, we're already pretty much reliant upon technology.
Well, we totally are.
I mean, as a society, if there was like EMP that just took out everything,
we wouldn't know
how to survive.
We wouldn't. I think there's a statistic where it's only a couple of months and we're done.
People would last.
Yeah. There's no way as a society we can even do it anymore without everything runs on the internet and electricity, man. It's a utility. That's why it became like a public. What do they call it? It was like another fundamental human right. Like that was like the
right to
like the internet. Yeah, the right to the internet for education and everything else.
Wow.
Yeah, man. It's like I said. I think it was the first episode. At some point, there's going to be no more humans on this planet that have not lived without internet. Yeah,
that's crazy.
And that's gonna be a crazy thing. It's just so interwoven.
And it was so new. I remember when it was brand new.
It was like 10 years ago, it seems like. Okay, maybe like 20. 25? Fuck.
I think I was like 13 when I had Prodigy.
Man, we are just scratching the surface. Yeah. Remember when we had AOL?
I don't know if I think I had like a preview of AOL, but I had Prodigy.
No, you did. You had Prodigy. I think we experimented because the discs were coming out.
Yeah.
We were trying to hack and get free games and shit.
Yeah.
And we were trying like people's software to like kind of manipulate like other people. Remember that?
Yeah.
We used to fuck with people. We were like trolls, weren't we? Yeah, we were. We were like
we had the anarchist cookbook back in the day.
Oh yeah, I built a website in high school that had the James Bond guide to lock picking on it, and it had the anarchist cookbook on it.
Yeah, I remember that.
I probably had some stuff on there about growing pot, probably, and mushrooms.
You little derelict.
Yeah, and it was hilarious. I mean, that was kind of like, that was a high school. It was like build a website.
Do you remember the game Drug Wars that used to be on computer?
Yeah, I bet you could still download it. Yeah,
all text.
That was so good.
It was a fun game because there wasn't other games to play like that.
Those were the fun days. Like we'd have like an old LAN network.
Yeah.
And like do you remember the guy who taught that class? Like the computer.
What was his name? Alan?
I can't remember his name, but he was kind of like the guy who really didn't have control over his students.
Oh yeah.
They just kind of did whatever, and he just did his best.
Yeah, well, the whole high school was kind of like that.
Yeah. Oh, the whole high school was. But the computer guys were kind of like running the show.
Yeah.
You had like Barzon and those guys. Remember those dudes?
That guy's still big into.
He's still running web companies and shit. And but they'd have like Doom running. We'd have like little LAN party. Gaming.
I remember
competitions
when the technology first came out, where you could like dial up your buddy's computer and play Doom over it. And I think me and you tried it.
Oh man,
our computers were way too slow for the internet.
Didn't we ever get it going? I thought we got it going.
I don't think we ever got it going smoothly.
Every year a new modem would come out. So it was like the 14.4, and then the 28.8.
Well, we had like
56,
2400, 9600.
Yeah, that was the very first.
Super
right?
slow.
Yeah, I remember when the 14.4 came out. That was like mind blowing.
I think 28.8 was as high as I got. Before,
yeah.
And how long ago was that?
28.8. What is it? Was it bits? Was it kilobytes
bits per second? I think
kilobytes.
BPS?
Kbps.
I don't know for sure.
Kilobytes per second. 28 kilobytes per second. That's crazy, considering that we're looking at gigabyte internet today. On average. Maybe not in this country so much.
I think I said before, my first computer had 20 megabyte hard drive.
Oh, I know, right? And expensive too.
Oh, it was like $1,200.
My sister got one for the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
I remember
I feel kind of manipulative about that because I was the one feeding that whole thing to her.
You feel manipulative?
I was manipulative.
You were manipulated.
I felt I was like manipulating her.
Oh, you were manipulative.
I used it properly this time.
Used it properly.
I felt manipulative.
Oh, because you wanted the computer.
I wanted the computer, so I was the one that was kind of like, we need a computer, and I gave, this is why, and we ended up getting it. But you know what? I mean, that, not to be selfish here, but the whole computer thing like changed my world. That sent me on a course that I would probably not have otherwise.
That's true. I remember when you guys got that computer.
Yeah, it was a big deal, and of course. It worked the way I expected it to work. Yeah. Nobody used it but me, and and then we started playing games, right?
You know what? I remember something at your house. This memory just came to my head. But I remember somehow you went onto a website, and it was just like thewhitehouse.com or something. And then you said something to your dad about how you'd hacked into the White House. And I remember he's like, and he thought you did. Do you remember that? Honey, Gene just hacked into the website. That boy's smart.
He's smart. Well, one thing I used to do.
We call him Motorola P116.
One thing we used to do that was pretty smart, was scary, risky, but now I kind of appreciate my dad for this too, because my sister was going through all her like liver issues, right? So she ended up dying, I don't know, 2006 or something. But at that point, my family, like my dad made too much money to qualify for Medi-Cal, like state health insurance. Sure. But then obviously couldn't lose the job to get the health insurance. So what we would do is we would scan like a check stub, in the old days.
Oh, and then just adjust the income.
And we would tweak the income and use those statements.
That is fraud, sir.
No, I know, but
now it's on tape.
Somebody lived. I think there's a statute of limitations.
Oh, good.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, that was had to do that for a little while just so we could have insurance. Just to keep the fucking lights on. It's crazy.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
What you got to do, man. But yeah,
Lake LA.
I remember those days though. Did we ever play any games? We played like World of Warcraft and stuff, didn't we?
I never did.
Oh, okay. I know Eric's dad had like the huge LAN at his house.
I never got too much into the computer games.
Yeah,
besides like
super fun. Kind of geeked out on them, probably too much. But those old days were super fun. Like the games coming out, and there was.
I think I was really into playing guitar back in that day.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I wish I would have stuck with that more.
A lot of. I wish I would have got some real lessons and learned like from an early starting point, like how to, maybe the theory and stuff a little more.
Never too late to go back.
Yeah, just don't.
I feel like every few years I go refresh about it all.
Cycle through it. Yeah.
And then I get over it for a while.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Exactly the same way. It's good though. It's good for the brain. That's a big pattern I've discovered about myself. Is I have like a few big things. One is like this kind of stuff. Yeah. Music is another one. Sometimes the stuff and music comes together. Sometimes I'll do I get into video production. Yeah. I did that for a while. I always try to look at a way of making money from it for some weird reason. Yeah. It's just the way my brain operates. And that's probably one of the reasons, and it's probably one of the reasons why I stopped taking music so seriously too, because I realized that at some point there's no way I'll ever make any money at it. And unfortunately, I felt like that was.
So like your main.
Yeah, because it really should just be about enjoying music. But for some reason, I was like, why try if I can't get rich? That's like the dumbest thing to say, But that's what I was thinking at the time. And I was like, well, I gotta buckle down and do something else that's gonna, make some progress in life.
Well, at least music is one of those things we always fall back on.
Yeah. It's super important, though, too. I realized that it's good for my brain. It's super good mental health. It's good for creativity. When you're, you have a problem and you're trying to come up with a solution or something, just break out a guitar and just play music for a while. And then after a while, it's like sleeping on it almost.
I always feel like the worse I am off mentally, not like I'm ever bad off mentally, but when times are harder, it's easier to play music.
Yeah,
it's easier to be creative for me. Anyway.
Yeah, that's a good point.
When everything's going good, you don't have too much inspiration to get your feelings out.
Yeah, and maybe that's where good music comes from. That's why the blues guys always have to be so sad.
That's why I always use the example when I talk about Pearl Jam. Their first few albums were great. They were really kind of depressed, Seattle scene music. Yeah. Then they got rich and happy, and they kind of. They didn't have the songs didn't have the same feeling.
They lost the art that they were known for in a little bit. Still great musicians, just not.
It's still one of my favorite bands. Yeah, maybe top 10 or so.
Yeah, Eddie Vedder does some pretty good solo stuff. Yeah, I like the ukulele.
Yeah,
he's pretty good.
He has a whole album, doesn't he?
Yeah, it sounds really nice, man. It's really good. Yeah, he still tours, I think, too.
Oh yeah, I think Pearl Jam still does.
They're still rocking it. Yeah,
I don't know for sure.
It's a good band. I don't know for sure, but I'm sure they are.
To be I don't know if you ever watched Pee-wee's Playhouse back when we were kids. Yeah. And they had word of the day. Yeah. When it was said everything in the room went crazy. Oh
yeah. I don't know for sure, but I think that's a great name for a show. I don't know for sure, but
we'll have to look into it after the.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to dig that up because I think it's a great idea. Yeah. Well, shit, man, we're at 2 hours and 18 minutes.
2 hours and 18 minutes.
That's pretty good. You want to call it, or do you want to keep rocking it?
Yeah, we can call it. I've been drinking Rockstar. I got to make a call.
Yeah, it's about that time. Okay, cool. Well, we'll call it until next week. Huh?
I bid you adieu.